Last night in Grand Rapids, Chicago gained a point, but the home team continued its torrid streak through the A with a shootout victory. Tonight at the Allstate, the Wolves and Griffins battle in the second game of a home-and-home next. Good evening and welcome to our Glow Game presented by Starry. Make sure to grab a Glow baton to cheer on the Wolves, presented by Starry. The rivalry resumes tonight in Rosemount as the Wolves and Griffins clash for the second time this weekend. And Billy Gardner, if last night was any indication, buckle up. The Griffins edged the Wolves 3-2 in a shootout. It got feisty at the end. All three meetings between these two teams this year have needed a shootout to decide it.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the fact that I thought last night's game was the best game of the year overall for everything. I mean, there was excitement, there was chances, there was great goaltending, there was some aggressive play. And I like the fact that the Wolves, I think, showed a lot of people, including themselves, how well they can play against this team. It's supreme in the American Hockey League right now.
Well, lights are off. The glow sticks are glowing. We're ready for the opening show. Enjoy the atmosphere.
Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the west end of the ice and welcome your Chicago Wolves. Please welcome number 94, the Chicago Wolves mascot, Skates. And now, let's meet tonight's starting lineup. Starting on defense, number 4, Dominic Patinka. And number 8, Ronan Seeley. On left wing, number 23, Josiah Slavin. On right wing, number 10, Noel Gunler. At center, number 22, Skyler Brindamore. And starting in goal, number 30, Caden Primo.
Wolves Wolves second in the Central Division, points in 9 straight games. Grand Rapids sits first. They have points in 17 in a row. Clash of the Titans. Happy New Year to you, hockey fans. Alongside Billy Gardner, I'm Jason Shaver. We turn our attention to the pregame crash course presented by the University of Denver. DU, Fields, Adventure, and record-breaking hockey. That is the Denver difference. Learn more at du.edu/difference. And on the score sheet, often as of late, the top line for the Wolves.
Yeah, they've been dominating really, really good hockey. Read off each other so well. They put themselves in great positions. Why? They're smart on the ice. They don't stand still. They go into positions. Suzuki down to Nadeau. There's Robida all alone, finds a seam and scores the first goal for the Wolves. We've seen a lot of that. It needs to continue, but they certainly need secondary scoring against this club because this record is phenomenal. Best in 90 years. 27-1-1-1. Current streak, as you saw and talked about, leading after the second. They have not lost. Just tremendous year overall. They've got some studs in their lineup, but the Wolves have played very well against them in the first 3 games.
Yeah, in fact, the Wolves have had the lead in all 3 third periods head-to-head this year. We go back to Chris Dubiel, the Wolves public address announcer.
Please direct your attention to the penalty box area and welcome Girl Scout Eliza Simmons for tonight's ceremonial puck drop. 9-year-old Eliza is a member of Girl Scout Troop 47471, and she loves trying new things with her Girl Scout friends. Go ahead, Eliza, and drop that puck. Wolves fans, Eliza Simmons. Fans, please welcome the DuPage Black Bears Squirt 3 team as they line up with the Wolves players on the blue line for tonight's anthem. Please rise and join Wayne Messmer in the singing of our national anthem with colors presented by Troop 75541 from the Girl Scouts of Greater Chicago and Northwest Indiana.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
The Wolves Stars and Scratches are presented by the Illinois Army National Guard. Join the Illinois Army National Guard and become a part of a proud tradition of service to your community and country. Visit nationalguard.com/IL and talk to a recruiter today. Caden Primo gets the nod in net. In defensive front of him will be Dominic Badinka with Ronan Seeley. Skylar Brindamore is in the middle of Josiah Slavin and Noel Gunler. Scratches tonight: Giovanni Smith, Braden Doyle, Juha Jaska, Bryce Montgomery, and Gleb Cherkozov.
Let's take a look at tonight's All-State goaltender matchup. All-State, you are in good hands. Team high, 13th start for Caden Primo in his last 5 games. The Wolves have picked up points, and he's only given up 7 goals against. At the other end, it is Michael Postova, getting his 6th start of the season. He hasn't played since November 9th in this building. Got injured 8 minutes in, stopping the first 4 shots he faced, but has been out since that time with a lower body injury. Spiro Sanasis is the Wolves' interim head coach. He spent 2 years as an assistant with the Grand Rapids Griffins, including a Calder Cup season. Now he is trying to beat his former team. That is Dan Watson, the head coach of Grand Rapids. In his 3rd year, he's already won 101 games behind the Griffins bench, and he's already been named the All-Star coach for the Central Division. That's how great a start the Griffins have had this year. First period of Wolves hockey is proudly presented by your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Kia dealers. Kia, movement that inspires. Billy, the Wolves have looked pretty good in the first 3 contests against the league's elite. What do you expect tonight?
You know, we've seen the Wolves play this game of hard-nosed hockey for a number of years, but I thought the intensity last night was at another level, and that's what needs to continue against this team. They have to take the game to them and play strong along the boards. That's where they can win it. Bring the puck out of those areas, become available, and get some shots on net. 49 last night.
That is a season high for Chicago, and a well-deserved night off for Sebastian Cossa, who leads the AHL in every goaltending category. And back-to-back goalies of the month. You can see why. Here's a Gunler shot he scored last night. Falls up, fires again. And Postgame able to keep it out.
I like that hunger, though. Going right to the net, going right through the crease, through the traffic. Gunler did.
Gunler tied the hockey game yesterday. The Griffins have only had 1 lead against the Wolves. That was yesterday in 3 contests, and it lasted just under 5 minutes.
This is an icing call, so officials trying to get the right Griffins back on the ice because of that icing. It's a good chance here for this line to be creative, as we have seen quite a bit. Interesting. Suzuki was on the other side, probably thinking Robota was going to take the faceoff, but he's going to dial in here on the other side.
Wolves get to pick which side the faceoff dot puck will be dropped at, and the Griffins able to win the faceoff. They'll clear it out. Here's Dom Fensori. Kicked off of Suzuki to center. Suzuki across the line.
That's twice he used his skates playing a little soccer.
Well, he was quite the soccer player before having to decide what sport he was going to pursue at a very elite competitive level in Canada. Griffins regrouping. They have not lost a game in regulation on the road. Grand Rapids, their only blemish, a shootout loss in the first meeting here at the Allstate. Long one in on Caden Primo, and he'll keep it in the equipment.
And we were chuckling a little bit about that last night, although they've played more home games, but their record on the road, overall, if you look at the percentages, better than their home record. And they've only got 1-1-1 as their dashes underneath that 27 wins.
Caden Primo, great numbers in the opening period. And boy, he has really settled in, Billy. Came in and was sharp early. A little system adjustment, and boy, he has been dialed back in. He said wasn't used to the shot volume when he first got to Chicago, just the way that the Carolina Hurricanes and Wolves defend with that man-on-man defense, but he has been sharp as of late as you look at the numbers.
Yeah, that's in the month of December, so he's right up there with the Sebastian Cossas, who we just remarked about. Goalie of the month for the last 2 months. And absolutely, I think obviously you get to know your defense too and their tendencies. As a goaltender, you see everything in the game because you're looking at the game all night long. And there's a huge adjustment, communication, but as of late he has been stellar. Both goaltenders have been very good.
Amir Miftaho picking up a point again last night in the shootout loss. He has gone 5 straight starts with points for Chicago. Played along by Postava. Billy, if you haven't played in a while, you want a lot of pucks to the net on the Griffins goaltender like last night on Cossa?
Yeah, we would like to see that.
There's a lead pass in and a quick shot fired wide. Back out in front, and the shot by Tuomisto. Knocked away. That was Ricklowski who had the first look that missed the mark.
It reminded me of Leonard, the way he handled and cradled that puck and shot it.
That's why I was waiting for him to turn.
The numbers are weird.
Here's Pavlichev behind the net. Wolves will move the puck to Ronan Seeley. Seeley works off the contact from Becker. Becker picks up the puck, and he'll knife his way into the neutral zone. He's the one-man forecheck now, doing it all as Primo waits. Had to move it quickly as it stalled in the restricted area where the goaltender can't play the puck, and now Doucette in a battle. Plays it back low. Bantle. Hildebrand at the side of the net. Comes back to the point. Doucette is there trying to cycle back down low. The Griffins keep the zone. Ian Mitchell will send it into the corner. Mitchell, one of 2 lineup changes for Grand Rapids tonight. The Wolves also making 2 changes from yesterday's contest.
Yeah, as I mentioned, very intense. One of those, we're not sure if it was a suspension or not, but Gustafsson, very good defenseman. But into the end of the game situation fight with Noel Gunler and got thrown out. The game misconduct. So
you don't see too many instigate fighting majors at the end of overtime. It's 3-on-3.
Or by a Swede.
No, that was Swede on Swede. He's going after Noel Gunler. They removed the major that the off-ice officials accidentally put on the score sheet at the end of the game, so Gunler did not get a fighting major that we announced on our broadcast. There's Brendamore down low.
Their announcer was very sketchy all game long.
Well, it's kind of odd because Gunler never dropped his mitts or anything on it, and he got a 5-minute fighting major. He did shoot in the shootout. As Grand Rapids scored on 2 of their 3 attempts, the Wolves unable to get a goal on their 2 looks. And now some speed across the line. Primo makes the save. And that was John Leonard, the league's leading goal scorer, racing in. He has 20 on the campaign.
If you watch him here accelerate through the neutral zone, he's smooth as butter. I mean, he just picks up here, and this is just, look at that excellent move. Waltzes his way at great speed, just is able to shift gears, gets himself into a shooting position with something to look at. Primo well out of his net to make the save. Not a tough one, but amazing how easy it looked from him picking that puck up at his own blue line.
Here's Dries trying to fire it out in front. He replaced Dominic Shine, who also got a roughing minor at the end, towards the end of regulation. Griffins have 2 extra vets that are out. The Wolves have a 2-on-1. Suzuki in with the nose. Suzuki settles, looks, shoots, and he missed. Oh, he tried to sell the pass, but he couldn't put it home. Roberta will keep it alive. Roberta racing in and a fancy glove save by Postava.
It would have been interesting if that last shot hit the net or not, because it was high and he waved that arm up very quickly to snare it. So Grand Rapids loves to stay involved in the offense, and if you can catch them up the ice, you're going to have situations just like this. Ryan Suzuki's got a great shooter to his left, but I like that. It's a good shot. And you're at a great angle, stick in the middle of the ice. This was Roberta after. That might have been missing the net, but boy, a nice little release that was. So 2 good looks here from that line right away.
Did it look on that replay, Billy, that the Suzuki shot actually hit the pad of Postava?
Might have.
Yeah. Here's Ungersorm trying to keep it alive. Tuomisto got it up ice. Dom Fensore has to race back. He's got heat coming his way. And Ungersorm helps out deep in his own zone towards Vierling. Vierling will be Billy's first intermission gasp. Great story. And a good conversation between these 2.
Those little plays, you have to own the puck. You cannot give them second chances with errant feeds.
Now brought in Canik Leaper. Man back door. They score on the second effort. Trailmax puts it home. And Grand Rapids takes the lead as Edwards Trailmax gets his 14th goal of the season.
If you heard what I just said, the Wolves had full control of the puck, and they laid out a soft pass to nobody but a man in blue. And because of that, it ended up going in the back of your net. You just can't have these plays happen. This is the end part and result. Excellent feed. You got great placement of the bodies by the Griffins in front. This feed is perfect. Good stop initially, huh? How about that? I mean, what are you going to do? Trailmax with the rebound attempt after the first redirection has a lot of net on the second attempt. Need better body position first and foremost in front of the net, but secondly, and the most important, the Wolves had control of the puck. You cannot give it up so easily.
And at the middle of the rink. We got some rust up between Biondi and Wallinder. Kind of back behind the play as it continues.
Well, that's the biggest thing I think too, is we saw a lot of last night was finishing checks, and that doesn't happen in a lot of games. Everybody was doing that.
Here's a quick shot in on Caden Primo. So the Wolves went 8 straight games, Billy, without trailing, and now back-to-back games they have fallen behind to Grand Rapids.
The Kia Sportage Turbo Hybrid. Kia, movement that inspires.
At Republic Bank of Chicago, we understand. We get it. You don't live to work. You work to live. Whether you're just starting out, building your business, or planning for what's next, put Chicago's hardworking bank to work for you today, so you can put your hard work into what matters most. Hardworking for your business. Hardworking for your life. That's Republic Bank of Chicago.
First goal, free corn chips and guac. When the Wolves score their first goal of the night, everyone will earn a free side of corn chips and guac from GYG, Guzman y Gomez Mexican Kitchen, redeemable at any of their locations across the Chicagoland, including across the street from the Allstate. Visit ChicagoWolves.com/first goal for more information.
So never nice when you trail. You got a great crowd on hand here at Allstate tonight. And I still think the intensity level is fairly high, similar to what we saw for 65 minutes of action last night. And the Wolves had their chances. Saw a couple there. Suzuki, Robida, and he easily could be on the board also.
Wolves are coming up ice now, trying to get the tying goal. Mentioned last night, Grand Rapids had the lead for 4 minutes and 42 seconds. It's the only time in the last 9 games the Wolves have trailed. They went almost 505 minutes of hockey without falling behind. They were 2 seconds shy of 5:05. Griffins back in as they'll put a puck to the net off the bicep of Primo.
High riser there. That was tough to handle.
Mitchell rims it around the backboards. Griffins the early zone play in this hockey game, leading 1-0. That shut off the traffic out in front. Hall down low. He'll play it back to the point.
I think this line for the Wolves has been very good the last few games, especially Slavin. I think 2 of his best games of the year were the last 2. And Noel Gunner's starting to get some fire in his belly. And, of course, Brindamore is so consistent.
Yeah. And the shot through to Primo's left hand. He'll catch and keep.
And you need that. I mean, you need some lines to contribute offensively, but also the grinding and wearing of the opposition's defense down, making them work to get up the ice. So that line does a heck of a job at that.
Wolves trying to clear it out. And they do. Top line out there for Chicago. Suzuki, Robida, and Nadeau. Carried in by Hamo Salmi. He'll funnel to the net, and Postava able to use the left hand to hold on to it.
Good speed there by Hamo Salmi. Beat his man and took the puck in the boards, but the options were limited. So this is not a bad play. You shoot it on net. You got guys going to the net. So the goaltender doesn't want to play it. He wants to hold on to it, and it gives the Wolves a chance offensively if they can win a draw. So nothing wrong with that little simple play. The Griffins make a change, so the Wolves do that also, trying to match up. We've talked to Spiros and asked us about that a lot.
Off the face-off, the Griffins will play it up the boards. Another icing. It's an adopted dog night here, Billy, and
yeah,
looks like we got a new puppy.
You do. Congratulations. How was the labor?
Sounds like this dog named Nar is going to be coming home with us.
Say it again.
Nar. N-A-R.
N-A-R, huh?
It's a terrier pit mix from Border Tails. Billy, you talked to the Border Tails folks.
Absolutely. Well.
Sent in towards Dom Fensori. He'll charge up ice. Fensori's lead pass sends Vierling into the zone. Now Felix Unger-Sorum trying to return it towards Vierling. Griffins will hold on to it as they try and change up a couple of the forwards. Becker's attempt knocked down by Biondi. Biondi with a 2 lineup changes for the Wolves. He replaces Gleb Trikozov up front tonight. Wolves getting Gavin Bayreuther back from Carolina in time for the game, as Bayreuther inserted on the back end, replacing Bryce Montgomery. Havlicek's lead pass to Bedinka. He'll zip it towards the net. And it caroms right back into the neutral zone.
Great play by Sealy with the stick.
Broke it up, and now the Wolves, Biondi entering the zone. Bedinka is still up in the rush. The shot hit the pants of Biondi, and it was covered up. Puck was still loose, and I mean way loose. And now some more conversations after the whistle.
This would not have happened if the whistle did not go, because the Wolves would have had possession and something might have been happening offensively for them. We'll have a look at this. Listen for the whistle. I mean, that puck is behind the net before the whistle goes. It's not even close to being secured under Posava. So,
and you're not allowed, unless body part is touching the crease, you're not allowed to cover the puck as a goaltender either.
Now they let that happen, but absolutely the truth. But I don't think he really had a clue where it was at. We had some funny calls last night, that's for sure.
Same 2 referees, Tyler Spott and Simone Debian. The 2 referees that worked last night's game, Mike Daltrey and Greg Offerman, are 2 new lines person working this one.
Well, they don't call icings, the referees, but there was a situation that occurred that ended up in the back of the Wolves' net that everyone thought was icing.
That led to the tying goal by Grand Rapids in the 3rd period. Back forward is Cal Foote. Bayreuther's after it. He spent the last 2 games up with Carolina. Been recalled a couple times. Did not get into action. But he does get credit, Billy, towards the pension for being in the NHL during those games.
Is that right?
Yep.
That's new then. Well, it might not be new, but it's new since.
Yeah, you could have used that, Billy.
Oh, my goodness.
You would have gotten your 400 games.
Plus.
Well, I meant the 400 just for you, Bailey, to get that pension, full pension.
This is last night. This is the play we were talking about. This is Grand Rapids. That goes to nobody, and it's everyone thinks it's going to be an icing. It's waved off. If you look at the bottom of your screen, the linesman was waving his arms after the puck got to the goal line, and that ended up being the tying goal. Was it the last minute?
Tuomisto scored that goal with 2 minutes and 14 seconds left.
Huge change.
Just as Kosa was going to the bench to be removed for the extra attacker. Leonard kicks the puck free. Wolves outshoots Grand Rapids last night by 24, but it's the Griffins who have the shot advantage here in this one by 5. And the only goal so far, here's Robida in. Robida has 8 goals in the last 9 games for Chicago, And that one touched the netting, allowing us to step aside halfway through period number 1.
What happens when an unstoppable force meets an immovable raccoon? Attack. Bark. Attack. It's not easy taking out the trash. That's why you need strength that's anything but ordinary.
Hefty, hefty, hefty. We at Carol's Corn are proud to announce that we are the official gourmet popcorn of the Chicago Wolves. Receive 15% off your first order when you use promo code WOLVES15. Let's go, Wolves!
Kia Sportage X Pro, now with all-wheel drive terrain mode. Kia, movement that inspires.
Synergy Surgical is the official partner of the Chicago Wolves penalty box for over 25 years. Synergy Surgical has been a trusted source for discounted brand name surgical supplies and high quality sutures, while helping medical facilities turn overstock into cash. Learn more about what Synergy Surgical can offer your facility by visiting synergysurgical.com.
Let's have a look at last night's shot totals. 49 shots on goal last night at Grand Rapids, the most since 54 shots. That's back in April 30th of 22, and that was versus Rockford. Wolves with a solid 3-2 victory New Year's Eve in Rockford. Pretty intense game that was also.
Yeah, it was. Here's Dom Fensori. Got into the center zone, but the Griffins come back in offside. Vollunder carried it in.
Yeah, being forced and pressured back to the middle of the ice. Offside. Correct call. I like that too. That's you got a classic team that loves to play on the offense. They're very good at it. So you want to be in their faces quickly as possible, not give them a chance to see the open ice. We talked to Spiros and asked us about the board battles and how important it is to keep the puck along that area and not throw it into the middle of the ice where they're so deadly and keep plays alive, especially in the defense, the way they watch the game.
That is how Grand Rapids scored the opening goal tonight. Puck eventually played up ice. Tipped in from center by Branzig Nygaard. He opened up the scoring yesterday for Grand Rapids, and he's having an excellent rookie campaign. Riklowski finds the late arriving man down the wing, and Primo Premier there to make the stop on Becker.
Yeah, nice little dish. That's open ice.
Becker once again the leave off, and a haul shot through to the net, and it's the left leg of Primo coming through in the clutch, and we got a puck touched by a high stick.
That was a bit of a skipper too as it got towards the goal of Primo. Here is a little dish in the backhand, some freedom, and a very good shot by Becker with a better save. I love the challenge and where he is, Caden Primo. This is a little bit of a slew foot there that sometimes gets called whenever you get your skates behind the opposing player's legs, pull them down with a little grab to the shoulders. Can be serious.
The face off. Griffins keep it alive. Turcotte lost it in the slot. Oof, Wolves maybe get away with one there, and a glove save! Sensational, Caden Primo.
I think that was Doucette, I believe, that let that wrister go, and there was some pretty nice dancing going on in the slot area. Was it Becker also with the puck, and he gets pulled down? I thought for sure that'd be a call, but the loose change was there, and Doucette just rips one. There's the falling Becker. Oh, it's a nice little feed, quite honestly. That's a little soft touch pass to the left-handed shooter, Doucette, and he rips it, but what a glove out of nowhere. And that wasn't very far away. That reaction had to be precise.
Wolves make a line change. They win the face-off, and they'll head into the offensive zone. Back behind the net, Pavlichev had Ungerstorm out in front. Pass it to the outside of the net. Vierling's on it now for Chicago. Evan Vierling. The Wolves work it back down low. Badinka pinching from the point. Support from Pavlichev. Here's Ronan Seeley. Fakes, fires it backdoor. And the tip by Vierling went wide. Boy, had Ungerstorm in the area too.
Yeah, excellent play by Seeley.
Here's Pavlichev in the backhand, a wrap attempt, and using the goal stick paddle there was Postava. Good forechecking by this line for the Wolves. They won a D-zone face-off and have gone right to work at the other end of the rink.
Yeah, that's a good shift.
Pavlichev to the point. Ronan Seeley walking the line, looking to the net. It was blocked by the shadow in front of him. Ungerstorm feeds it loose. Badinka will let it go. It's loose, and Postava makes the save. I think the puck came loose after the whistle, but that's what happens when you lose track of the puck earlier in the game. You don't get that quick whistle anymore.
Yeah, that's true. Very true. Here is Ronan Seeley at work. Watch this little play. This is the last play on net, and the puck lays there. Where is it? Well, there comes Seeley. Finds it. It's actually, I don't think it's under the glove. That was the play prior that Seeley made. Instead of shooting it right at the man coming at it, and a little fake it to the side it goes. That's just a smart play by Seeley. And Vierling in great position, just couldn't get enough on it to maybe beat the goaltender. So a couple of good plays offensively there for the Wolves.
Well, starting to pick up some offensive pressure, something that they did so well. They had double-digit shots all 3 periods yesterday. A blast by Foot was broken up and somehow back in the skates. The Griffins are able to come away with it.
That was Watson with the block.
Austin Watson missed some time yesterday in the game. Angle fires a shot and Primo the save.
Yeah, we did not see that or pick that up, but I guess he did not play very much or at all in the 3rd period. And I haven't honestly noticed him in this period either until that play where he makes a big block. This is the last opportunity, a little cutback. Boy, they're so good with the puck. And there's not a lot of room there, but that little flip pass back in to yourself, and you cut back into the seam, put yourself in a pretty good position. So they are creative.
Here's Brendan Moore. And that played off the corner glass at the bench, so the draw will remain in the neutral zone.
Automatic. Be nice if they let that play. You just never know where the puck's going. Give somebody an advantage at some point. But it's there for a purpose. Keep everybody safe.
Face-off won by Sheldon Dries.
You mentioned Dries did not dress last night because of their issue with the vets, but it's had some pretty good hockey games as of late.
Yeah, a couple multi-point games.
4 in a row.
That's not too shabby.
No.
Here's Suzuki to the point for Hamo Salmi. Hamo Salmi shifts and shoots, and a stop by Postava. Wolves maybe need a little more traffic to the net there with those point shots.
Man, I talked about that last night. I thought they did a good job, and there's nothing wrong with that Hamo Salmi shot, even though it's kind of floating to the area. But boy, if you have someone there, it's a lot easier to handle that puck when you notice it coming at you a little slower. You can get your body in front of it, drop it down, maybe get a bit better shot or chance.
Justin Hall starts to break out. The Griffins back in. Here's Trailmax, has one, and a stop there by Primo.
And again, freedom. That's just a strong move. Good protection of the puck. Pretty good play, but Primo stayed with it.
Suzuki got hooked down on the forecheck, but play continues. So a hook that the Wolves could have called on, let go earlier.
Yeah.
Puck comes back to the point. Griffins trying to hold the zone. Riklowski will drop it off. Kanik Liepert uses the backboards to get it deep. Flipped ahead by Nadeau. Wrapped off the legs by Tuomisto. He'll dump it back in.
Time. A little talk there. Someone should have helped Badinka, knowing that it was offside.
Here's Rapkin in, and he is able to stick handle through and release his shot up top.
captured the puck and quickly fired it on net. What was that?
I don't know. Came back to Canuck-Leaper, and he has it again with Rapkin trying to finish his check on him. Bantle able to dart off the contact into the Chicago zone. Biondi caught up to him, and Amo Salme trying to pin him up in the corner. Kind of a physical game, a lot of board battles here in this one early.
Yeah, there has been a lot of grinding on the boards, lots of body contact. Again, as I mentioned earlier, you don't really see that. I mean, you see it, but you don't see it consistently as we do with these two teams in the matchups. And that wears you down quickly. You got to be smart with your shifts and time on ice.
Nice breakup by Josiah Slavin. The Wolves transition the other way with numbers across the line. Slavin down to the right side, and a chance for Gunler, unable to be capitalized on.
Feed that a little earlier. Let him go. He's ahead of you. He's got some speed. Let him take that puck in and create some more room in the middle of the ice.
Slavin to Gunler. Took the pass off the skates. He'll feed it free. Foot finds his partner. Bayreuther hesitates. Now lets it go. And that time the Wolves did have good numbers out in front. But Postava equal to the task at hand.
That's a better shift, though. You get that puck in a little deeper. Then you can utilize your defense. And that opens up the area. Bayreuther's shot on target, as you mentioned. A couple of guys in the vicinity. Gunler, very noticeable the last few games, and I like that. Maybe it was his family was over, right, from Sweden. You get a little jump.
Yes,
absolutely. There's his feed, and Bayreuther head up all the way, and he's throwing that towards the net, but not for the purpose of scoring. He sees what's available, and Slavin was there. He tried to get his stick on it, maybe the shaft of his stick. Just missed. And Postava made the glove save and took the whistle. So we're down to 4-11. Wolves with 9 shots now, so 13-9, a little bit better as of late. More.
Yeah, picked it up, Billy. They had 3 shots in the opening 8:41. Well, that's a nice little pickup for the offense. And Billy, the Wolves have picked up 9 wins here at the Allstate. And don't forget, after each Wolves home win, you win 10 free boneless wings when you buy 10 at your local Chicagoland Hooters. Visit ChicagoWolves.com/Hooters to register today.
Home record of the Wolves is very good.
Points in 5 straight here at the Allstate.
Road record, a game over 500 now. It's those bonus points that have hurt. Overtime, shootout losses. And it doesn't look so bad now, but as time goes on and it gets tighter down the stretch, depending on where you are, those little 1 or 2 points add up quickly. And you hope that doesn't come back to burn you.
Yeah, Billy, the Wolves losing in the shootout last night, that's the 7th straight game that they have lost past regulation. They've played 10 games past regulation and just a .200 winning percentage.
Right, so that's 7 more points. If you had those 7 more points, you'd only be 13 behind the Griffins.
Yes. Off the face-off. Shot wide by Amo Salme.
This Griffins team is 30 points ahead of a playoff spot. That's unbelievable already. 30 games in.
Randy Cleves, one of their fine PR staff members, was talking with us yesterday, and they were running some numbers well before the Christmas break, but they could have lost every game up until Valentine's Day and still had a .500 record.
Wow.
That was before Christmas. Now Suzuki trying to split the defense. He's able to pick up control, shifts it to Roberta. Roberta checked before he could go back to Bradley Nadeau.
That's way offside.
Bantle is a little antsy to get over the line. He's from Wisconsin. There's a look at the best contract in this game, Justin Hall, in a 3-year, $3.4 AAV contract.
It's not the best, it's the most.
Yeah. Well, I think it's also the best, right? I mean,
no kidding. Now the Wolves got away with one too. Another play into the middle of the ice. It was intercepted, but they were able to regroup before the end of that shift and move up the ice themselves. That's happened a couple of times. Once it went in the back of your net.
it just goes to show you, too, going back to Justin Hall, I bring this up because as a rookie, he was with the Indy Fuel in the ECHL. He was the Rookie of the Year. So sometimes it doesn't matter where you start. The road ahead can still lead to great paydays, and Justin Hall is a prime example of that. He was selected by the Blackhawks in the second round back in 2010. They began in the ECHL.
Yeah, a lot of times it depends on where you're at, who you're with. And there's always someone watching. That's the thing. Now, last night we saw 8-10 scouts easily.
Yep. Here's a chance, and walking in, an opportunity, Leonard, and boy, a big time stop there by Caden Prima. Excuse me, that was not
Becker.
Leonard, that is Andre Becker.
I'm not sure I mean, it's a good little move to the backhand, but again, Primo just stays with him. There's the flip out. He catches a couple of guys, big bounce, a little pass, and I thought maybe a penalty. Did you not? I'm not sure what took place there. Let's see again from behind. Oh, nice little push into the skate blade. Veerling. He actually hit the back of the foot there, and that took Becker off stride. Still got a shot on net. Nice little save by Primo. That's how quick they can do it, though. You got to be aware of that.
Griffins off the face-off, trying to work it down to the corner. The Wolves come away with it. Foot was trying to head up ice, but the rink-wide feed by Ungersorum never got to him in flight.
Ungersorum's back was to the middle of the ice, but he knew that he was available and tried. It was a pretty good effort.
Now Foot puts it out in front. Alachev's stick was lifted, so he couldn't get a piece of the puck. Aruther has it now. And across the line, the Wolves back in. Veerling tried to go to the corner. Spotted and charging back the other way. Mantle will work it deep. Ungersorum goes rink wide. And Bedenka will move in. Throws it to the net. Steered away by Postava. Big check coming from Turcotte, the Candyman can. And he's back after Valinder, and the other D-man here is Rapkin. Is able to get a piece of the defenseman trying to clear. The Wolves keep the zone. Rapkin towards the net, and the redirect, maybe off of Turcotte, went wide.
Biondi got his stick on that.
Okay, good eyes, Billy. And a penalty is going to go against Grand Rapids. First call of the game. Extra attacker on for the Wolves. 6-on-5. At the line, Blake Biondi had that nice redirect. Here's Bedenka dropping it off for Fensori. Fensori fires it towards the net. Back door. It's loose. Postava stretched out. Makes the save. Bedenka. And it's finally touched up by Alexander Doucette.
Hey, that's a great shift. That's your so-called fourth line on the ice, working their butts off and creating something. Now the good guys that come on the ice, the talented guys that are supposed to score, need to score on these situations. It has not been good or kind to the Wolves. The game would have been over in overtime last night if they had clicked on their power play for all the time they had in that 5-minute overtime period.
Penalty going against Chad Hildebrand, who grew up here in the Chicagoland.
There's the hold. Just not giving up. Got his leg in pretty good place, but it's his right arm that's the difference.
Chad was in training camp with the Chicago Wolves this year. Here's Justin Roberta. Wolves on the Republic Bank power play, and they need this to find its rhythm again. Bradley Nadeau holding on to it. Dom Fensori will work the right side. Felix Ungersorum trying to go deep. Eventually gets to Suzuki. Uses the backboards. Roberta had to take the long route with the net in the way. And the Griffins get it out. Billy, in the last 8 games, the Wolves are 0 for 28 on the power play.
Did you see that play by Leonard? What a great play defensively. Had traffic in front of him, went back behind him to his defenseman, and all the way down the ice it went. He's the goal scorer. 20 goals in 22 games.
Doing a little bit of everything for the Griffins. Wolves back in. Pass towards Roberta. Ends up with Ungersorum. 25 to go in the period as Suzuki looking for a lane. Goes to Ungersorum. His shot was blocked. That was Austin Watson, who's probably going to need an ice bag or two in the intermission with 2 nice blocks up front.
It's the only time I've seen him as a pincushion.
Torrey will dump it in. Wolves have a few clicks of the clock to try and get it out in front for a buzzer beater. Instead, they'll have to go back, and they will start period number 2 on the power play, trailing 1-0.
That's the positive. 41 seconds of fresh ice. Hopefully they can get some work done. And you know, I mentioned this last night when there's a couple of these situations where you could go into the dressing room at the end of the second intermission, I believe, when they were going to start the third, and discuss what's been going on. And they need to kind of get together again as a group and find, you mentioned rhythm, but they just got to find the back of the net somehow. Get a greasy goal. Doesn't have to be pretty all the time. You got a power play, you got a chance here to tie the game, and that opportunity is going to start in the second.
Now, Wolves' Dan Price working with the power play groupings, put together a group that would kind of play more 5-on-5, funnel pucks to the net last night. We'll see what they decide to do in the second period. But for now, we take a look at the first period scoring summary. It is presented by your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Kia dealers. Kia, movement that inspires. It was Edwards Trelmax getting his 14th of the season. The assist going to Alex Kanek-Liepert and the forward Jacob Riklowski to give the Griffins the lead at 5:38. 1-0. Griffins after 1, and prior to today's game, Billy sat down with Wolves forward Evan Bierlin in our Village of Rosemont intermission interview. The Village of Rosemont, it's all here.
Thank you, Jason. Evan, first of all, a terrific game last night in Grand Rapids. Obviously, with their record and what they've done this year in the 90-year history, pretty amazing. But you guys were the better team last night. You face them again tonight. Anything different?
Yeah, I think we just want to stick with it. Obviously, we got to tweak some things, but yeah, we were really happy with our effort last night and our detail. Yeah, I think that's three games in a row now that we've played them really tough. So we just have to stick with it, and we'll get the result that we want soon.
I want you to, we're going to show some of your goals, but the opportunity you've got this year, and I know you were talking to Jason yesterday about the chance, kind of out of the dark, you come in and you're playing a regular shift. You had some great streaks of goal scoring. How do you feel, and how is this chance been for you here with the Wolves?
Yeah, it's been awesome. Obviously, just trying to do my best, and the opportunity that I've gotten has been great. The coaches have been great, teammates have been great. So yeah, I'm just trying to contribute and just try to play my best hockey. Right now, it's not going for me as I've wanted it the last 10 games, but I'm still playing a 200-foot game and just trying to stick with it.
Everything I've read on you, it always talks about you at center ice. Here you've been a winger every game, I believe. Has that been a transition too, or have you always still been a centerman, and is this new this year? Yeah,
it's definitely new. I've been years prior mostly center, but a little bit of wing. So I think it's been a bit of an adjustment, but I'm starting to really get used to it, and yeah, just trying to adapt in that style.
I'm going to ask you a little bit about your background, but I know you're born just outside of Toronto. You lived outside of Toronto. You a Leaf fan back in the days as a kid?
I grew up a Leaf fan. My dad, he was also a Leaf fan, so so I got that gene in me now too.
Sure. Yeah. I want to talk about the OHL Junior A draft. You were second overall in your draft year as a midget, and your teammate Quentin Byfield was the #1 pick. That's pretty rare. I'm going to talk a little bit about that, but how was that? The two of you, were you line mates?
We weren't line mates. No? We were both centers, so we were on different lines, but we grew up, I think we played together for 5 or 6 years. So yeah.
So second overall, and that's huge to play Junior A in Canada. In 2012, there was another pair, Connor McDavid. It was included in that, and in 2006, another pair that included Steve Stamkos. So pretty high caliber of players during that time. You were drafted by Flint. You played a full year there, and then got traded. How was that transition, being a young kid going from one team to another?
Yeah, it was good. It was tough. I think. I played it for my first full year when I was 16 in Flint, and then ended up getting traded to Barrie, which is technically my hometown team in the OHL. So, just being close to home, my parents were able to come to every single game, and just having them close to the rinks was it was awesome. Just playing. Pretty
Rare
much
occurrence with the pandemic, and you totally missed a full year of hockey. What was that like, not being able to go to the rink and have teammates to play with?
It definitely sucked, I'm not going to lie, but we ended up building a backyard rink, so I was able to still skate and have fun out there, but missing a full year and not being around my teammates and just having that, the thing that I love to do was tough for sure.
Work out a lot. I mean, obviously there's not a lot to do, and you're kind of stuck in staying kind of game shape.
Yeah, I tried to. It was definitely difficult with, especially in Ontario, a lot of the gyms and stuff were closed, so there was definitely times that I felt out of shape, but eventually I had to really dial it in and get back once the stuff started opening back up.
In the Ontario Junior Hockey League, you won a major award, and you had to be pretty excited about that. The Sportsmanlike Player Award. You represented Ontario. I believe you went to Kamloops for the Memorial Cup, and here it is. How is that honor? I mean, that's voted by the general managers of all the junior teams.
Yeah, that was really cool. Going to the Memorial Cup and then being presented that was really special. I was able to meet a lot of cool people, and they were kind enough to have my dad fly out with me, so he was there with me. But yeah, it was just such a special couple of days.
Evan, you've been with a couple of organizations so far in your career, but what was it like on draft day when you were drafted by an original 6 team? That's a pretty special moment too.
Yeah, it was such an amazing day. There's a picture from my Instagram a couple of years ago, but I remember just my whole family being there. And just it was just, we were during COVID, so it was just up on the TV, and eventually the commentators were just talking, and then you just kind of see the New York Rangers and then my name beside it. So everybody just started freaking out, and it was just an amazing day.
Evan, lastly, I want to talk about this. Everybody knows in the game of hockey, parents are such a big part of the deal. They do so much for you. You wear number 41, and there's a special situation behind that. Now, my grandparents, I call them Papa and Nana. You call your grandmother Nana too, and there's a picture of you. What is 41 representing?
Yeah, I think that's, first of all, it's I grew up loving Nikolai Kulemin for the Toronto Maple Leafs. And then that's also the year my Nana was born. So, that's pretty special. So,
and you've worn it for a long time.
I've worn it since I was 10.
Wow, that is special. Evan, thanks for joining us. Keep going the way you are. It's been fun to watch.
Okay, thanks so much.
We'll be back with more of the first intermission after this.
Kia Sportage Turbo Hybrid. Kia, movement that inspires.
At GYG, clean is the new healthy. But what does clean mean to us? No added preservatives, no artificial flavors, no added colors, and of course, no unacceptable additives in our food. That's why our guests feel so great after eating GYG. We're a food company. We are obsessed with every ingredient. It's our responsibility to serve you real, delicious, clean food. Who said fast food has to be bad food? At GYG, clean is the new healthy. Love ya.
I'm a big rock. And while you're down there posing for pictures, I'm seeing the bigger picture from up here. And this little birdie's telling me it's time for this rock to roll. Photobomb! And if you don't have the right insurance, this can really flatten your savings.
Awesome.
So get Allstate, save money, and be protected from mayhem. Yeah, like me.
When things heat up, you don't just want a cold one. You want the coldest one. The cold lagered, cold filtered, cold packaged one. Mountain Cold Refreshment. Coors Light. Choose chill.
Do you know a member of the military, a first responder, or anyone else who goes above and beyond to serve their community? Nominate them to be recognized at an upcoming Wolves game as a hometown hero. Presented by Vitalant. Chicago Wolves hockey is brought to you by Pepsi Zero Sugar. Wolves fans deserve Pepsi. Try a Pepsi Zero Sugar now and let your taste decide. Jewel Osco, local since 1899. Carlucci Rosemont. Make a reservation at carluccirosemont.com. The Village of Rosemont. It's all here.
Bid today in the Fight Against Cancer Jersey Blind Auction. Just bid your maximum amount and the highest bid wins. Proceeds benefit a Silver Lining Foundation, Bare Necessities, Immerman Angels, and Chicago Wolves charities driven by Kia. Place your bid today at chicagowolves.com.
Hey, grab me one too.
It's Darvin's New Year's mattress sale. Save 45 to 65% on hundreds of mattresses, plus an extra 10% off famous manufacturers with 0% APR for 24 months. Save up to $500 on Tempur-Pedic adjustable sets. Save up to $700 on Beautyrest Black. Or choose an Heirloom King for the price of a queen or a queen for the price of a full. And get a free adjustable base through Monday at Darvin Furniture and Mattress.
Why'd you choose NLU?
I decided to go with NLU because as a working adult, I didn't have to put my life on hold.
For me, it gives me the opportunity to finish my degree much faster, even with my busy schedule.
Yeah, I feel really valued and heard. NLU does a really good job of humanizing the entire education process.
It's amazing that we earn 25% of our credit by going to work, and so it kind of just brings the best of the best together for me.
I agree.
Definitely.
The Earth is 70% water and 30% land. But the entire sky belongs to us.
Copy that. Aim high, Airman.
The Chicago Wolves are proud to present Score for Charity, the program that supports Chicago area charities through donations from local sponsors based on the performance of their favorite player. Carlucci Rosemont has drafted forwards Juha Jaska and Noel Gunler. When either registers a point, Carlucci Rosemont donates $150 to the Walberto Foundation. When Gleb Trikozov earns a point, CDE Collision Centers will donate $100 to Make-A-Wish, Illinois. Each time Felix Unger Sorum scores a goal, Fraternal Order of Police Lodge 9 will donate $100 to Peace Officer Memorial Foundation of Cook County. The law office of Daniel E. Goodman has drafted Skylar Brindamore, and for every point he tallies, they will donate $100 to Border Tales Rescue. Every time Giovanni Smith scores a point, Chicagoland Hooters will donate $100 to Girls in the Game. Ivy Hall Dispensary is donating $100 to the Lion Family Foundation for every point Justin Robidat tallies this season. When Nikita Pavlichev records a point, Raincoat Roofing will donate $100 to the Salvation Army. Raising Cane's has selected Ryan Suzuki, and $100 goes to Self-Help Closet and Pantry of Des Plaines each time he scores a point. Rose Pest Solutions is helping to save literacy by donating $100 to Bernie's Book Bank every time a Wolves goaltender posts a win. For more information on how to become a Chicago Wolves Score for Charity sponsor, visit ChicagoWolves.com.
The AHL hits harder on FloHockey. Every game, every goal, every hit, all season long. AHL TV on FloHockey gives you access to every AHL game. Watch your team, follow top prospects, and stay on top of all the action on the ice. Subscribe now to stream it all live on AHL TV on FloHockey.
You'll still have common days. Put off your term papers till the last minute. Eat cold pizza right out of the fridge. Update your fantasy roster. This is not one of those days. A few weeks a year and you'll discover the most uncommon time of your life.
CenterGuard Plumbing is Chicagoland's same-day water heater expert. Save up to $600 with a 40-gallon water heater installed for only $11.95 or 50-gallon as low as $12.95. Mention this ad and save an extra $50 with CenterGuard Plumbing, Chicagoland's full-service plumbing experts.
What happens when an unstoppable force meets an immovable raccoon? Attack.
Bark!
Attack. It's not easy taking out the trash. That's why you need strength that's anything but ordinary. Hefty, hefty, hefty.
For some, career growth is a 5 or 10-year plan. For us, it's not measured in years, but in generations. And it's one big reason why 96% of Illinois farms are still owned and operated by families. We're also 100% committed to bringing you the most sustainably grown, healthiest food anywhere. Illinois Family Farmers. We are the 96%.
Intermission highlights are brought to you by Illinois Farm Families. In Illinois, 96% of the farms are family-owned and operated, and they are 100% committed to bringing you the most sustainably grown, healthiest food anywhere. Meet the families who grow your food at rochersgrow.org. Well, pretty good period. That puck there should not have been given away, but because it was, the pressure is sustained by the Griffins. They keep things alive. It took some time, but eventually they're going to move the puck into a dangerous area. Back to the blue line it goes. This is Kenneth Liepert with a perfect feed. Trelmex with the first redirection that stopped, but he gets his own rebound, and Pot's the only goal of the period. The Wolves had some good looks too. They worked hard and had some great opportunities. I like the pinch there. You got good support. Pavlich back to Seeley. He goes to the side, and Vierling's redirection just misses that far post. Just not enough on it. This puck is sent down the ice, pinching Fensori, and a nice little feed. This ends up being another good opportunity and chance on the backhand, but Primo was solid. He made some big stops for the Wolves in that first 20 minutes of play. Little flip out, ends up being a partial breakaway. I'm not sure if you see that, but Vierling from behind will touch the back of the leg of Becker, and that knocked him off stride, and no penalty occurred as we look at our Pepsi Sugar stats through 20 minutes of play. 14-11 shots Griffins, scoring chances 10-2 Griffins, face-offs 14-11 Wolves, turnover 7-2. 7 for the Wolves, hits 5-4, one more for the Wolves.
Bringing us to our second period that is presented by Discount Tire. Save time when you book and buy online. Discount Tire, let's get you taken care of. Billy, let's see if the Wolves can get back in the goal column. They had scored a goal in 4 of the prior 5 periods. And they're on the power play, brought to you by Republic Bank. Another 30 seconds with fresh ice. And Billy, they've got to their second power play unit out there to begin the period, and they're offside on the entry.
Yeah. Interesting. This to me is what you would call, I guess, the greasy group, because they're going to get the puck and try to get it to the net. They're going to work and battle for it. So we'll see what they can do here in the 24 seconds. Didn't need that offside, but still time to get in the offensive zone and set something up. Maybe.
Maybe they can score on the rush. That's what you need to break it. Wolves will send it in from center, and that splits the uprights.
So that'll pretty much do it, because that faceoff's going to be in the neutral zone, and not a lot you can do with 10 seconds to get in and set anything up. Center ice, the faceoff will be. Yeah, they do make the change on the defensive pairing, I believe. Yeah.
Well, great crowd. First game of 2026 on home ice here at the Allstate for the Wolves. The Girl Scouts had their annual cookie kickoff event. Easy for me to say.
I like the cook-off.
Yeah. Those come pre-cooked. They're ready to go. Just open the box and enjoy. Gendler is in. He'll drop it off. Power play is over. Foot centering pass off of Austin Watson. He has Becker up ice, and the pass into the zone offside.
It was a fairly close play.
Yeah, I'd say.
I couldn't quite see where the puck was when the feet were at the blue line. Hillebrand there with the opportunity again. This is rifle up the ice. Getting this angle. Just ahead of the game, I believe. Good call. So we'll come all the way back to the right of Postgame, and a chance for the Wolves to start something up, get the engines going.
Off the face-off, Pavlichev. Now the Griffins get it out. Cal Foot has it. Chip to the head for Bayreuther. Bayreuther missing the last couple of games, but that deep pairing of Bayreuther and Foot was dominating before the recall for Gavin. Rolls in, Foot shot off the backboards, off the back of the net. Unger Storm is on it now, and Wolves get it funneled out in front, but Postgame is there.
That was Slavin. He was just putting it out to the front of the net, and maybe a bit of a hoper, but it redirected off the equipment of Postgame and dropped down in front of him. I don't think it had a chance to go in, but it's still a little awkward and a funny bounce it ends up being. Oh, it's off the skate blade of Austin Watson and right back on target. So as a goaltender there, you probably need to be alert and not sleeping.
I think that's you know, one of the golden rules as a goaltender. You can never be sleepy.
Oh, you can't? How did I score then?
Here's a shot by Roman to the dismiss. Suzuki to the point. Bensori off the blocker of Postgame, and then the netting.
Now, would he have done that on purpose?
I think so, yep.
Good face-off win. Wolves get control. They've got a little speed going, some motion, and that little wrister steered off into the netting on purpose with the blocker to slow it down.
One of 3 Czech players playing for the Griffins, as Detroit is known for drafting Europeans. The Wolves have Badenka, so 4 Czech natives in this one.
Czech mates? Or native?
Yeah. Here's a chance for Robida, and on the release, Tuomisto got in the way.
Got a long reach too, that Tuomisto. Nice little play on his part. Oh, but that hit by Robida. He snapped Tuomisto's stick in half.
Continues now, a centering pass off of Suzuki. Another attempt off the goal stick of Primo. Griffins activate the defense and score. Pass out in front, knocked in by Sheldon Dries, who immediately goes to Justin Hall and says thank you for the tap in.
I can't reiterate my point again. It looked like maybe the Wolves are coming out, but you watch the position. You have to be on the other side of the man that's going to receive the puck. So it's kept alive here. Good pinch. All looks, and I mean, you just got to be a little bit better, I think, overall. This pass is precise. So a couple of guys there. I'm not sure why you didn't try to get a stick on that, but nonetheless, it's in the back of the net with a sweet play.
First time now in 9 games the Wolves have trailed by 2 goals as Dries gets his 11th of the season. Justin Hall will earn the assist. Grand Rapids was has points in 17 straight games. 3rd longest point streak for them. Their 2nd longest is 18. They could match that tonight. And the franchise record 19. The 18-point streak, Billy, was last year, so here's been an opportunity on the steal by Biondi, and he set up Rapkin.
The shot was just a little bit too high.
And now Biondi got it out in front for Turcotte. Lagesson and Turcotte will separate.
So the play itself, a nice one by Biondi to steal that puck and made a smart maneuver, but it's a left-handed shot, so that much more difficult to turn your body and get it into a shooting position. If he's right-hander, he could have one-timed that baby and maybe surprised Gustava. Kept alive. There's Biondi down low. That's the end of the play and all the junk going on after it. This line had a couple of good shifts though for the Wolves in the first period.
Wolves with the face-off. Here's Bayreuther, and they put it off the post. Oh boy, a game of inches, and the Wolves could have used an inch the other way.
Yeah, that would have been nice after a face-off win again. Simple wrister. Not sure how much traffic was in front, but you could hear this baby. Yeah, listen to that.
Another draw. The Wolves trying to go right to work in this offensive end here in the 2nd. There's a attempt broken up. Unger Sorum put it off the traffic too. Not a lot of room in front of goaltender Michael Postgame. Evan Bierling will headman the puck. Great research by you in that Evan Bierling conversation. I learned a lot with your questioning.
It's always nice to find out a little bit about a player that we didn't know a lot about to start the year off. That's for sure.
After you told him, brought up the fact that he was the 2nd overall pick in the OHL draft, I feel like I should have known more.
Yeah. Well, how about the comparisons of the? I mean, his teammate was first, and then the only other time, well, it happened twice, but was Connor McDavid involved, and then before that was Steve Stamkos. So that's pretty good company.
Yeah. Bummer on the draft part of things, Billy, that it happened during COVID, so we couldn't participate. Selected by the Rangers.
Well, the Western Junior Hockey League and the Quebec Junior Hockey League played some games. The OHL did not, and those players, well, you gotta wonder how your career is going to go after missing a full year and not really knowing what's happening.
Yeah, especially for him. He wasn't drafted at that point. If you'll recall, Wolves had players like Seth Jarvis and Jamison Reese, who were junior players that were able to join the Wolves for part of the pandemic.
Yeah.
For a guy like Jamison Reese, who still would have been in the OHL, he actually got to get some experience that season.
How about that little play?
Postgame has been good stopping the puck, and he plays it out to center. Again, he has not played a game since getting injured back against the Wolves on November 9th, and he has looked very dialed in.
That was very early in the game, too.
Yeah, he made an excellent save, stretching to his left, and then later in that sequence he stretched to his right and left the game with what I have to assume was some sort of muscle strain. Here's a Robida shot, and that deflects off of Lagesson, and now to play.
It's one of the beauties of this team, watching those veteran defensemen, the gap control. Last time we saw Robida score a beautiful goal, he found some room in the middle of the ice and a great wrist shot. But if you watch how they're playing them tonight, they're not given that room. There's been a few shot attempts by some of these elite guys that have been redirected.
Deadly combination, lead in the league in goals against average and goals for average are the Griffins. Justin Robida working behind the net. Only one regulation loss suffered by Grand Rapids this year. The Wolves beat them once in a shootout. Here's Robida. Wolves using the backboards to avoid some pressure. Fensori put it out in front. Good traffic again, but Postgame stretched out with the left leg. Grand Rapids finally able to bounce it into Chicago territory.
It's a good shift of a lot of skating by the Wolves. They didn't have to really use their bodies much, but they forced errant passes and collected the loose pucks, kept plays alive.
Fensori right up the gut. Wrists it off the back glass. Even had Postgame ducking a bit. Ian Mitchell will lead it the other way. Drop pass for Riklowski. Kept in at the point. Shot blocked by Turcotte. Ian Mitchell's attempt. Blake Biondi avoids one. Headmans the puck. Turcotte banked it out. Rapkin will pursue. Mitchell's on it first, and he steers it the other way. Good work through center. Linder is in, but on the front of the Griffins bench, premature in was Becker, allowing us to step aside for the first time here in the second.
Wherever you're headed, Discount Tire wants to get you there safely. That's why we created Treadwell. Treadwell shows you transparent test results on how tires really perform.
Let's get you taken care
of. All these plates. Wow. Food, tables, people, friends, family, memories, amazing plates. Wings, burgers, baseballs, cake, parties, birthdays, beer, crab legs, goofy, funny, beautiful, messy plates. Every plate, every day is for you. Hooters. Nothing beats the original.
You'll still have common days. Put off your term papers till the last minute. Eat cold pizza right out of the fridge. Update your fantasy roster. This is not one of those days. A few weeks a year and you'll discover the most uncommon time of your life.
Wherever you're headed, Discount Tire wants to get you there safely. That's why we created Treadwell. Treadwell shows you transparent test results on how tires really perform.
Let's get you taken care of.
Do you know a volunteer or youth hockey player in your community who deserves to be recognized? Well, the Wolves and Guzman E. Gomez have teamed up for the Little Wolves Amateur Hockey Volunteer of the Month program. Learn more and submit your nomination at chicagowolves.com/fansden.
Well, it's been a funny game. Not quite, I don't think, as good as last night, but still vibrant and a lot of hustle. And the Wolves certainly need a bounce to go their way. I think that'll really spark them. I think they've got to feel like they're working hard enough, but they need something to go their way. And one of those might be a friendly bounce.
Wow. Billy showed you the first intermission stats that the Griffins had a 3-shot advantage. Here in the second, Grand Rapids has a goal on 1 shot. It was a tap-in backdoor, but the Wolves out shooting Grand Rapids 3-1 here in the second. And they hit a post on a Bayreuther bid. Grand Rapids looks a little bit more dialed in and a little quicker than they did last night on home ice, where the Wolves outshot the Griffins by 24. The Wolves changing up the deep pair, and they avoid too many men on the ice. In fact, they played a couple seconds, one player short. self-imposed penalty.
Yep.
Here's Vierling looking out in front. He had Pavlichev there, but Pavlichev just couldn't get a stick on it. Boy,
I think sometimes you get a little quick with your thoughts. You know what's available, and you hurry yourself. I think Evan could have maybe half more stride and then make a stronger feed through to the stick blade.
Slavin drops it off, put towards the net by Brendamore. On the follow-up, foot was there, but it rolled over his blade and back the other way. It'll be brought in by Gabriel Seeger and covered up by Primo.
That pass there hit a skate blade. I was thinking maybe it could go the other way and into the net. Let's have a look at some of the action from Evan Vierling behind the net. And didn't have a lot of room. I thought maybe he could have stepped out a little bit, but he was forced. I don't think he could have maybe been able to get the puck to Pavlichev because of the traffic there.
Yeah, I actually thought in real time too, Billy, the pass was a little bit closer to Pavlichev than him.
Yeah.
Wolves onside. Good toe tap there by Slavin. Shot by Brendamore is caught by Postgame. It does seem to be the Wolves funneling more pucks towards the net here in the early stages of the second.
Yeah, it's funny how last night they had so many and worked so hard to be able to do that. And then this game, and I mentioned it earlier, I think defensively the Griffins are much more sound and not giving that room that they saw last night. Their gaps are so much tighter than they were last night, but nonetheless they still are now up to 14 and need to keep pounding pucks. Oh.
Broken up, and now here's Leonard working in, backhand save, rebound, and that stays out. Wolves. Nadeau was taken down. I thought that would be a penalty just because it led to an opportunity for the Griffins. Two huge saves by Caden Primo. One for sure on Leonard. I don't know what happened on the rebound.
I honestly saw, I thought the puck went in the net on the second attempt. Heck of a stop, though, on the best scorer in the league right now. John Leonard has had so many chances. Had a breakaway last night also that was stopped by Miftafov.
Leonard's now talking to Primo, who's nodding his head.
So there's the face-off and the pressure, talking about gap control. Then the puck is pushed by. This is Leonard. Strong move trying to go against the green. Oh, it hits the crossbar, I think. Let's see the rebound. Dries, throws it up off the bar.
Wow, great camera work.
Beautiful. That move, I think it was similar to what he did last night, and lots of net maybe to chip that in for Dries. But a little help for my friend, the crossbar.
Well, last 5 starts for Caden Primo. He has held his opponent to 2 goals or less, and he keeps the Wolves within 2 here. Leonard does have an assist on the goal by Dries here in the second. Hall set it up back door for Dries, but Leonard started the sequence. 20 goals in 22 games. Is that what you said, Billy, for John Leonard?
He was 20 and 21, 19 and 20, so around a goal a game on average is pretty spectacular. He also played 7 games with the Wings and scored 2 there in the NHL with 2 helpers.
4-point effort. Prior to this year, 70 games in the NHL for Leonard with San Jose and Arizona. Good break up by Fensori. Got the puck across. Biondi tried to get it to Rapkin. The other way. Doucette in. Drive towards the corner. Checked off the puck by Hamo Salmi. Sori reverses it up the rail. At the point. Kanik Liepert will keep. Now it's Tuomisto letting the shot go. Tuomisto couldn't keep the zone. Now they'll have to defend as Vierling is in. Slams the brakes. Finds the late arriver. And here's a Fensori shot. He scores! Dom Fensori, Powder River. And the Wolves back within a goal. His 5th of the season.
The Wolves in their own zone gave it up, but they were able to stay with it and finally get control. The shot goes wide. Little chip out. You like to see that. Vierling will pick this up. He makes a great decision here. Pull it up and sees the late man coming. Hamo Salmi, and then he lays it off. A little bit of traffic there at the end. I think that is the key. Here's the shot coming. Yeah, there it is. It's Pavlichev. He's just doing the drive-by. And I think that took maybe some of the vision away and concentration of Postava. And Fensori plants it. So really nice play. Great entrance to the zone. And you always need someone down the middle of the ice to draw some attention. Pavlichev does that.
Just with the doctor order there for the Wolves. Fensori, who has the second most shots on goal by AHL defenseman. It's his 5th of the year, and a nice setup from his D partner, Alexei Hamo-Salmi, and Billy Gardner handing out a little interview karma to Evan Bierling, who started this offensive passing. Well, you got to go all the way back to Felix Unger-Sorm. You don't get a 3rd assist on the goal, but he started the break up ice. And now we will step aside with Dom Fensori, giving the good crowd here in Rosemont a little boost on Glow Stick Baton Giveaway Night.
There's regular cold. And then there's the mountains are blue cold. Mountain Cold Refreshment. Coors Light. Choose chill.
Wake up. So many presents. Can we go with them? Wake up, presents. First favorite thing ever. Oh, how you cheese it? Oh my God. Bam. Legendary deluxe cheese. Legendary. Vanilla bean. Vanilla bean.
Give them gifts they'll love at Jewel-Osco.
It's mine.
It's mine.
It's mine. How about no?
Start the new year right with Planet Fitness, where everyone can get strong. Planet Fitness provides a comfortable, safe, energetic atmosphere with a variety of strength and cardio equipment. Join today for just $15 a month. Visit planetfitness.com to find a club near you.
So as you just mentioned, something had to happen positively for the Wolves, and it certainly does there. There's half a game to go. Really nice setup, good penetration. Some freedom moving into the zone, and that was such a key also to back the defense up, open up some ice for the trailers. That happened twice. There was trailers that became involved, and Fensori, the second of those, able to smoke one home.
Yeah, he sure did.
You mentioned the shot totals. Dom's missed a few games too with call-ups and injury. And
yeah, this is his 3rd game back. Billy missed the 3 with. He was taking some antibiotics, and he ended up getting sick too for an elbow laceration that they were worried about getting infected. So double dip there. You got the injury and a sickness to boot. A 3-game point streak snapped yesterday, but back on the score sheet here. Robida was out in front, and Nadeau just missed his blade. Fensori turns it to net, and Postava will drop it off. He kept the play going.
How about that? Mentioned earlier when he blocker went into the netting that he was trying to slow the play down. That one there's things going on around him, and he loves it and throws it away.
Back into the Griffins zone. Let's change up a few. Suzuki and Nadeau. Well, Nadeau definitely goes to the bench. Suzuki will stay on. As the Griffins trying to get the forecheck going. And the game's first 2 goals answered by Fensori at the halfway point of the hockey game. Jammed back deep by Trailmax. He had the game's first goal tonight. Kanik Leipert using his partner. Pass to Trailmax. Couldn't connect cleanly. And it's Rapkin the other way. Rapkin to the forehand, nearly tucked it home short side, then he slashed at the goal in the face. And Rapkin is going to take another minor penalty in the offensive zone.
Yes. Stick becomes involved in a lot of plays, and the initial shot in tight, a good one, but you can't follow up and do that. That is not a good thing. Got to be disciplined, and there's no doubt the referee right there. You get caught every time.
Well, he's trying to say that he was going for the puck, but you're not even close to hitting the puck. You don't get a free whack at the goalie's face.
It's like the Three Stooges there.
Well, all right. Let's see what the Wolves can do here on the Daniel E. Goodman Law Penalty Kill. The law office of Daniel E. Goodman is here to help. Call or reach out online for a free consultation today. Visit dangoodmanlaw.com for more information. As the puck goes to Primo.
Well, it's important here because you score a goal, you feel a lot better about yourself. You're in the game again. Not that you're out of it, but you're only 1 goal down. So this is a big kill to keep them off the board.
Grand Rapids has struggled a little bit as of late. Just 3 goals in the last 8 games on the power play. Still 10th in the league.
We were talking last night. I didn't realize how good their PK was. 87% coming in the game.
Yeah, they were 6 of 6 last night. Moved up to the 87%. I believe yesterday they were 3rd in the league. Went to 1st. With 6 kills. Wolves had 2 attempts on a 4-on-3 power play in overtime. Couldn't convert. Here's Dries. He'll pop it to the point. Grand Rapids 0 for 2 yesterday in the man advantage. Their first look of the night. They work down low. Here's Leonard in the slot. And a tad too high. Boy, that puck just jumps off his blade, though. And now Nadeau trying to clear it up ice. Now they pass to Nadeau. He has a shorty this season. Goes to Robida. And the puck was rolling the entire time, and that'll never settle.
Yeah, I think Nadeau just hurried himself a little bit. It fluttered off his stick. If it's led ahead of Robida, he's going to skate into that and maybe have a beautiful opportunity. Although it was at the end of a shift, great work by them to stay with it and move up the ice.
Nadeau scored the Wolves AHL leading 6 shorty on New Year's Eve. That was the game winner in Rockford. Griffins back in on the power play. To Omisto. Will play it loose. Angled deep. Trying to spin it across the crease was Watson. To Omisto walking the blue. Angle touches it back up top to Omisto. One-timer coming, and the stick snapped in half. That was Trailmax, and the Wolves able to clear while Trailmax was at the bench.
Yeah, that certainly helps when that happens. With a nice sagging back too by Slavin there to capture the puck and get it down the ice.
Angle in, Rapkin back on the ice. The Wolves kill it off, but Grand Rapids scores, put out in front, and it's sent in by Chad Hillebrand, the Park Ridge native. Gives Grand Rapids a 3-1 lead.
He did not know it went in. He takes this shot. It's in really quickly. It's a great feed. There's Angle with a puck. He sends it across. It's going to go down low, and this is tic-tac-toe here. Down low, then right in the net on that give and go, and he sees it after the fact. I think it's through the legs of Primo. Yeah, just a good play all the way around, and then he recognizes the fact that it's in the net, and that is a big goal later here in the second now to make it 3-1 and a 2-goal lead again.
And you can hear the cheers in the audience. He grew up in Park Ridge, Billy. He grew up coming to Wolves games. This has to be a special goal for him. His older sister, Brittany, for a number of seasons was the in-arena host here at Allstate Arena with the Wolves. Their family has been huge fans of the Chicago Wolves his entire life, and a special goal for him, his 2nd of the season.
Yeah, nice one. He's played well. Well last night.
Screaming more than when the bell dropped on New Year's Eve. Very excited about that one. So the deficit now 2 for Chicago. Hillebrand again was in training camp with the Wolves. Doucette and at 14-19. John Leonard has it as the Griffins back in front by 2. And Primo trying to hold his ground out in front. And the Wolves help out by dumping it back into Griffins territory. It rolls just enough for an icing.
And this group will have to stay on. That's a longer shift that you're in your own zone, and That next shift is so important. Either if you score or are scored against, you want some momentum to switch in this case. And the Griffins come right back with their top line and hem the Wolves in. And a couple of those pucks were very close around the crease too.
First time now in 6 starts that a team has been able to beat Caden Primo for 3. Pass towards Vierling goes all the way down. Will be an icing again.
Yeah, they have to stay on. They never got a chance to really even get off the ice, that group. So they will remain on. Gonna take your time here. Getting back. Griffins are ready to go. Wolves not set yet. Whoop.
Face off, one back to the line for Vollinder. Set play off the draw, and that shot just missed.
Perfect play on an easy win on the draw. It's tough on the centerman. Ooh, off the glass.
That was another look for John Leonard, who is, you got to be aware when he is on the ice. Almost every shift he does something special.
Well, it happens too, as I was going to say there, because the centerman's already been warned once. So you know the next time if you do something wrong in the faceoff, it's an automatic penalty. So you're a little bit more aware of not doing something wrong and jumping the gun. And Dries wins it so cleanly back, and this is definitely a set play. I mean, everyone kind of knows this play where you win a draw cleanly and you get a guy to move into an area to collect the puck on a one-time situation, and that's what took place. That man has been highly complimented from the head coach of the Detroit Red Wings, Todd McClellan, who speaks how he has handled the situation, which is not easy when you have so many veterans. We know that through the years. But the rotation system seems to fit and works well with the players they have. And the only players that really benefit, or I shouldn't say only, but the ones that do benefit the most are the youngsters that learn how to be a pro and how to play in these big games and become a good player.
Yeah. You're only allowed a few veteran spots, and that's why it's so important to get the right guys that can help your young prospects grow. Thrive Pet Care is your home team for veterinary care. When you adopt a new furry friend, you need a veterinary care that you can trust. And we cover all your pet's needs, whether it's a primary, specialty, or emergency care. Find a veterinarian near you at thrivepetcare.com. That's thrivepetcare.com.
Any updates? How's it going? Do you have to get diapers or anything today?
The 9-month-old puppy will be coming home.
Open the floodgates.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, that'll be our 4th dog that we have adopted through the Wolves Adopt-A-Dog program.
Very nice.
And so far, we're 2 for 3. No, I'm just kidding. All 3 of them.
Yeah.
John Wayne will be happy to have a friend again. Here's a backhand and a glove save made by Primo.
We have a Seager off the draw, wins it and finds the puck on his backhand. Doesn't get a lot on it. Into the glove it goes easily, but still another win for the Griffins on the dot. I was talking about it earlier. When's the last time we saw a penalty for an double infraction on a faceoff? I don't think it's ever happened.
Not in a long time.
Yeah.
Maybe when the rule first came in, they felt like they had to call it a couple times.
A lot of warnings, but that's it.
Wolves battle their way into the offensive zone. Trying to pull back within 1. Here's a foot release. Good traffic again. It might have hit off the backside of Noel Gunler.
Yeah, I like where he was at.
Wolves Gunler off of him to Seager. Gunler knocks Seager down at center. That was sweet on sweet action. Gustafson, a fellow Swede that went after Gunler last night after the overtime. Puck in the neutral zone, and Engel will roll it towards Primo. He leaves it off for the defense.
Engel is on the wing tonight. Last night he centered the top line.
Well, Dry's back in the lineup. He was one of 2 vet scrats yesterday. He centers the top line now. Remarkable how their lineup must change too, right? You've got a line that's working, and every couple games you have to sit as a veteran, keep that rhythm going.
Well, we've talked about it. I don't think we've mentioned it tonight, but 2 of their best players aren't even in the lineup and are hurt, and they've been hurt for a while.
Yeah, Amadeus Lombardi, and great start to the season for Carter Mazur. He had 4 goals, 6 points in 5 games, and he has had a significant injury. Here's a chance for Angle right on, and actually that was Lagesson, the former Wolves D-man, pitching in deep.
William Lagesson had 10 goals with the Wolves a few years back, and his best offensive production in North America. And we had him on earlier in the year. Talked about the ice time he was receiving that year, and it really gave him a boost in confidence. Excellent protection of the puck, uses his body and his weight to lean in, and doesn't really lose any control of it, but doesn't really get a shot. But it was on target. You never know.
John Leonard controlling. Wallinder. Upping it down low, comes back towards Felix Ungersorum. Wallinder twice held the zone. Now the Wolves get it ahead. And told he would have been offside was Ronan Seeley, so he didn't touch the puck. Leonard trying to cut across the circles. The Wolves come away with it. Pavlichev will reach back, and he scoops it into the netting.
The high riser. 2:01 remaining. Be nice to get one here with these last 2 minutes. Get within 1. Still have 20 minutes to go.
Yeah. Well, in the open, Billy pointed out their record when leading after 2.
Yeah. Not a blemish against. Also get the fans back, huh? If they were able to score, get everybody excited again in here.
Yeah. Wolves have points in 9 straight games. 5 in a row here in Rosemont. Slavin directed it in. Postava out of his net to Misto. Second effort. Top 4 checking line. Unable to generate something here. And now Angle finds Seeger arriving late, but good back pressure by Bayreuther. And the Wolves transition in. Here's a Gunler shot off the shoulder. Nearly caught the keeper. Postava dropping down early.
Gunler's had some good looks in the last couple of games. Good hard shots too. Hit the net. Talked about that. He's been able to do that. A little more confidence.
Yeah, I guess that's the key, right? Like anyone, a confident shooter like Gunler gets a taste, and yeah, maybe the net looks a little bigger than it did. Final minute of the period as the Wolves try and push back into the hockey game. Now Max will send it the other way. Primo the stop. Dom Fensori outlets the puck. Robida will curl ahead. Avoids one. Cuts in with some speed. Shoots. Boy, so tough to get shots through, and reaching at the stick was Hall.
I mentioned it earlier. The gap control has been very much better in this game than it was last night. And just not given a lot of opportunities to get shots off. This is the last little plays we mentioned. Bayreuther coming back into the action. Looked like a 2-on-1. It was really nicely handled in the neutral zone to make it a 2-on-1, but Bayreuther came back and took that away. This is Gunler going the other way, talking about the shot, and boy, can he rip it. And that was a tough one off the shoulder for Postava.
There's a shot. Hamo Sami, good traffic again. Robida, and it was blocked by the defense in front. Wolves carry on. Suzuki working in the corner. Robida stretching for it. Pounded up the boards. Leonard lost it. Fensori finds it. Fensori looking to Suzuki. Suzuki to Robida. Back to Suzuki. Suzuki rolls out of the corner. Kept in by Hamo Sami. 5 to go in the period as Hamo Sami fires a shot. Postava left to rebound. Nadeau chases it down, shoots, and time runs out. The Wolves' top line was buzzing late in the period, but they could not get a goal before the buzzer sounded.
He just, Nadeau just kept chasing that puck. It was like a lure at the end of your fishing line. He couldn't quite get to it. And it eventually went all the way to the boards, unfortunately. That's a good shift to end, though. A little momentum, hopefully, breaker for them. But this is what we were talking about, and you just mentioned, leading after 40 minutes of action. They do not have a blemish against them. They've won 19 of those games, and the Wolves have won 1. And they're, is it 9?
Yep.
So
they're due.
Uphill, yeah, they are due. Uphill battle, but you're here at home. You're only 2 down.
Yep. Both teams, the 2 stingiest teams in the third period. Wolves have only allowed 20 goals in the third. Grand Rapids has only allowed 19. As we take a peek at the second period scoring summary, it is presented by Discount Tire. Save time when you book and buy online. Discount Tire, let's get you taken care of. Sheldon Dries had a tap-in backdoor for the 11th of the year. Justin Hall and John Leonard assisting on the goal. The Wolves at the halfway point of the period back within a goal as Dominic Fensori gets his 5th of the year. Alexi Hamo, Salome, and Evan Bierling assisting on the Chicago strike. But the Griffins get a little resolve from the local product. Jed Hillebrand out of Park Ridge played for CYA growing up in the Chicago Fury, and he has made it 3-1 with Doucette and Engel assisting on the third goal for the Griffins. Carol's Corn Popcorn is the official partner of the Chicago Wolves with a huge lineup of 14 different gourmet flavors. We'll keep every kernel with you in mind. Visit carolscorn.com and use the code WOLVES15 at checkout for 15% off your first order. This is what memories taste like. We are through 2 periods here at the Allstate between the Wolves and Griffins, and it's time to dive into the Twitter mailbag at the Shaves here. And our first question, it comes in from DJ, WWEF, and 85. What's the best goal you have ever seen before Bradley Nadeau's Svechnikov goal?
Obviously, that's his favorite then, right?
I would assume so.
That was pretty special. You don't get to see it very often, but if you watch our broadcasts, I had a nice shot of Felix Unger Sorum a few years ago in Sweden doing the same thing as a youngster. Very, very similar from behind the net, same angle and everything. This is Bradley Nadeau, though, just a special player. Aside from my first goal in the National Hockey League, which is just plugging myself, as you said. How about Andrew Podorowski the other day?
Yeah, well, that was a beauty.
He had an unbelievable goal in Russia. It was tremendous to see the hands and the ability he had on that. If you get a chance to YouTube that or whatever they do, you have to look at that. That's pretty special. The former captain of the Chicago Wolves, a tremendous goal. Gosh, there's so many huge goals through the years. I think one of the funniest goals maybe was Kochetkov in Manitoba, which is pretty special to see a goaltender score a goal. And of course, so we've been able to see that a couple times in the Wolves' history. But gosh, there's so many goals that I could mention, even watching TV as a kid growing up, that were pretty special. You know, the golden goal is a big one in the Olympics, I think. There's been a few guys. It depends who you're rooting for, too. How about you?
I'm going to go the team I was not rooting for. Wendell Young, a part of it. Stanley Cup playoffs at Met Center. Mario Lemieux walking Sean Chambers. And then John Casey, Game 6 for the Penguins to win the Stanley Cup. Was a heartbreaker, but that's the best goal I've ever seen. I mean, he just absolutely waltzed his way in. A big guy with hands like that, that's unfair, huh?
Tremendous. And he had all the talent in the world. If he was healthy, his whole career might have been a different story with Wayne and him.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, let's shuffle on to, speaking of championships, where does the 2008 championship team rank in your favorite Wolves teams? That is from Goodman GKXS1.
Is that the alphabet?
I think so. Okay. A little alphabet soup. I don't know what those mean, so.
For me, it's, I think, and this is my own opinion, it's the best. It was the first time with the Wolves to win a championship. Been to the finals in 2004 against Philadelphia. But to see that team, and I honestly, they were the best team because they won the Calder Cup, but they might not have been the most talented team. And it was so nice to beat Rockford in that series, who was laden with talent. And they had a great team, but they were so undisciplined. They took so many penalties. and the elite of the Wolves took over in the power play, and it was so special to watch. And of course, fear of the stash. I mean, can't go any further than that. So the last Calder Cup team was pretty special. They knew they were going to win, though. It was a little different story. But this team kind of came from, I wouldn't say nowhere, but they came out of the dark to beat Rockford, and that really was tremendous to watch.
Yeah, I was a year late for the 08 team, so the 2022 team will always be special for me. Just out of the gates, they were good all the way through. They had that swagger and just some great guys, and it's so much fun to run in them years later now. Those championship bonds last a lifetime, as they say.
You never forget them, and they always remember each other. It's a tremendous team situation that goes a long way and will go on forever.
Yeah, that is the fun thing when you run into one of those guys. They talk about the guys that they're still in touch with and keeping tabs on. Last question comes in from O&B, and it is timely. Who has the strongest hockey roster for the next month Olympics?
Well, the World Juniors run right now, and I'm hoping Canada. I have my Canadian socks on for this game today. But that will be fun. Obviously, the Olympics are so special, and it's really different now than it was just 20 years ago. And then going all the way further back, because all these guys want to do it. I think it might even be bigger than the Stanley Cup, because you only get one chance in every 4 years. Yeah. So your span of time maybe in the National Hockey League is only maybe 5, 6, 7, 10 years. So you might only have a couple of chances at it. Rosters, I don't know. They're elite. Yeah, anybody can win. There's even Swedish teams that can do a heck of a job. Sweden, Finland, they're all solid all the way through their lineup. This is the Canadian team, and
4 former Wolves on it.
4 from the Wolves, which is awfully special. You know, the thing is, Jason, we were just discussing this. For Team USA and Team Canada, there is better players that did not make the team, talent-wise. Mm-hmm. But you need to have a team. You need to build a team that you feel can beat those other countries. And it isn't just the most talented individuals. You have to kind of sculpt your team. And I'm sure that's what they went over as we look at the U.S. team. There is a player there, Tage Thompson. It was terrific and is really a solid player for the Buffalo Sabres. Their key might be their goaltending. I think it's a lot better than Canada, but you've mentioned this many times. Connor Hellebuyck, who is tremendous throughout the regular season, sometimes in the big games, isn't quite there. So it could go either way.
Yeah, and I know the Canadians, they always, when they win Olympic gold, seem to change their goaltender. Jordan Binnington led them to the 4 Nations. Right. Be interesting to see. He was so clutch during his time with the Wolves. It'll be an awfully fun tournament. Looking forward to enjoying that, and I hope you're enjoying the first 2 periods of this game between the Wolves and Griffins, top 2 teams in the Central Division, going back-to-back this weekend in a home-and-home.
Wherever you're headed, Discount Tire wants to get you there safely. That's why we created Treadwell. Treadwell shows you transparent test results on how tires really perform.
Let's get you taken care of.
At Planet Fitness, no 2 members are alike. Their routines are different. They use different equipment.
1, 2, 3. Woo!
And they do it for different reasons.
All right. You're a mythical beast.
But they all have one thing in common.
Hey, you got this. Come on.
They're all strong.
That's right.
We're all strong on this planet. Planet Fitness.
1 more, everybody.
1 more? I got 5 more.
Your personal sous chef has arrived. Meet Me's Meals. Go from unboxing straight to sizzling skillet to dinner table in 30 minutes or less. Meal kits arrive chopped and prepped with no subscriptions or auto deliveries ever. Try the #1 customer reviewed meal kit in America, locally made in Chicagoland. Get 50% off your first order at meesmeals.com. Me's Meals. We shop and chop, you cook and create.
Without an Advent clinic nearby, people with chronic nasal congestion and sinus infections would be stuck with either Band-Aids that don't solve your problem or sledgehammer solutions like surgery. Our unique Advent approach can, with a 20-minute in-office procedure, open your blocked nose for good. Outside of Advent, invasive surgery is what they'll recommend. But here, in-office solutions can help you stop the Band-Aids and avoid the sledgehammer.
Wherever you're headed, Discount Tire wants to get you there safely. That's why we created Treadwell. Treadwell shows you transparent test results on how tires really perform.
Let's get you taken care of.
Want to win a player's game-worn Storm alternate jersey for just $1? Visit ChicagoWolvesStore.com today and purchase a scratch and win card presented by Jewel Osco. Proceeds benefit Chicago Wolves charities, driven by Kia.
Northwest Hockey is where young players get their start.
It's really a team effort. The entire family is involved.
The game was fast and fun. I've met so many new friends. Hockey is my favorite sport.
Life lessons are learned each and every day at the rink, and Northwest Hockey League is where it begins.
Start the year strong with best-in-class equipment at Planet Fitness. Save $28 or more when you join for just $1 down, $15 a month. Cancel anytime.
You got this.
Deal ends January 9th.
You can picture it in your mind, the room of your dreams. All you're missing is that one perfect piece. At Darvin's Clearance and Outlet Center, we've got hundreds of perfect pieces at unbelievable prices. Like this 87-inch built-in America sofa, just $399. Or this queen bed, it's just $399 too. Discover what you've been missing at Darvin's Clearance and Outlet Center, where you'll find the perfect piece for less.
Hurry up, come on. I'm a baseball dad. Just because I didn't go pro doesn't mean my kid won't. See me that.
No pressure, kid. Just everyone watching.
Coach says it doesn't matter if you win or lose the game, but that's what losers say. You gotta swivel those hips, right? And you gotta swing. Or! And if you don't have the right insurance, you can be paying for this yourself. So get Allstate, save money, and be protected from mayhem. Yeah, like me.
Start the year strong with best-in-class equipment at Planet Fitness. Save $28 or more when you join for just $1 down, $15 a month. Cancel anytime.
You got this.
Deal ends January 9th.
At Republic Bank of Chicago, we understand. We get it. You don't live to work. You work to live. Whether you're just starting out, building your business, or planning for what's next, put Chicago's hardworking bank to work for you today, so you can put your hard work into what matters most. Hardworking for your business. Hardworking for your life. That's Republic Bank of Chicago.
The Chicago Wolves are proud to present Score for Charity, the program that supports Chicago area charities through donations from local sponsors based on the performance of their favorite player. Thrivent Financial has selected Bradley Nadeau, and for every point, $100 will be donated to the Lyon Family Foundation. Fellowship of Christian Athletes is also supported by Thrivent Financial. $100 will be donated for every Josiah Slavin point. Wounded Warriors will receive a $100 donation from Tire Kickers every time Alexei Hamosalmi lights the lamp. When Dominic Fensore scores a goal, $100 will be donated to the Westside Foundation, courtesy of Westside Children's Therapy. For every Wolves power play goal, Tito's Handmade Vodka has committed $100 to the ALS Foundation of Chicago. For more information on how to become a Chicago Wolves Score for Charity sponsor, visit ChicagoWolves.com.
Sonesta Chicago O'Hare Rosemount, official hotel partner of the Chicago Wolves, offers a prime location less than a mile from Allstate Arena. Stay and enjoy their spacious rooms and range of amenities, from dining at Harry Carey's Italian Steakhouse to complimentary parking for Wolves guests.
While corporations love their jargon, farmers prefer to tell it like it is. So, When we say 96% of Illinois farms are still owned and operated by families, we're not exaggerating. We're also 100% committed to bringing you the most sustainably grown, healthiest food anywhere. Illinois Family Farmers. We are the 96%.
Wake up.
So many presents. Can we go with them? Wake up, presents. First thing ever.
How you cheese it?
Oh my God.
Bam! Legendary deluxe cheese.
Legendary.
Vanilla bean.
Vanilla bean.
Give them gifts they'll love at Jewel-Osco.
It's mine.
It's mine.
It's mine.
Give it to me.
How about no?
Center Guard Plumbing is Chicagoland's same-day water heater expert. Call Center Guard Plumbing before noon, and they can schedule your repair or replacement the same day. Save up to $600 with a 40-gallon water heater installed for only $11.95, or 50-gallon as low as $12.95. If it flows, flushes, drips, or drains, call or message the number on your screen. Mention this ad and save an extra $50. You're a text away from an install today with Center Guard Plumbing, Chicagoland's trusted full-service plumbing experts.
When things heat up, you don't just want a cold one. You want the coldest one. The cold lagered, cold filtered, cold packaged one. Mountain Cold Refreshment. Coors Light. Choose chill.
Seeking a full-service health club? Check out Rosemont Health and Fitness near the intersection of Higgins and Manheim. It features state-of-the-art equipment as well as exercise classes at no additional charge. Visit rosemontfitness.com to learn more. This Chicago Wolves telecast may not be reproduced or retransmitted without the express written consent of the Chicago Wolves. No unauthorized use is permitted.
Intermission highlights are brought to you by Illinois Farm Families. In Illinois, 96% of the farms are family-owned and operated, and they are 100% committed to bringing you the most sustainably grown, healthiest food anywhere. Meet the families who grow your food at watchusgrow.org. So, 1-0 it was in favor of the Griffins, and they're going to make it 2-0 with some nice work down low. Excellent puck movement. Dries is going to be in front of the net, parked himself perfectly in a nice feed. Hall, the defenseman, moving in along the boards, just spots him, and it's just a tap in. But the Wolves finally get some offense going. Nice play by Angersorm up the ice. Vierling lays it off. Hamel-Salmi thought he should have shot initially, but Hamel-Salmi holds onto it, and he finds his defense partner coming a little later. And what a rocket from the blue line. A little dip it looked like on that from Don Fensori, and he gets his club back in the game when we're trailing by 1. Misto, though, will start the rush up the ice. Angle will have it. They enter the zone. They're pretty good at laying off. Becker down low. And then nice give and go. And Hillebrand, he doesn't even know it's in, but a good play. And key there is he just drives it right away. As soon as it's on the stick plate, it's off his stick, and it's in the net through the legs. As we look at our Pepsi stats, shots in favor of the Griffins only by 3, 23-20. Scoring chances, though, that's huge. 16-5 in favor of the Griffins. Face-offs, 27-20 Wolves. 9 turnovers for the Wolves, 4 for the Griffins, and hits 7-6. 1 better for the Wolves. Let's have a look at our CDE Collision Centers collision of the game. I thought last night was probably a little bit more aggressive than we have seen in this game, but there's certainly been a lot of hits also, lots of body contact, and that little tackle by Seeley coming back hard on Becker, and a nice takedown that ends up being. And that is our CDE Collision Centers collision of the game.
The third period of Chicago Wolves hockey is presented by Westside Children's Therapy. Westside is a children's therapy provider offering physical, occupational, speech, feeding, autism, and counseling therapies. With over 25 years of success, they've earned the trust of over 1,000 pediatricians and a 98% family referrals. Wolves trailing by 2, underway here in the third. Griffins points in 17 straight games, 16 of them victory. Wolves have a 9-point streak, 5 of them in the win column.
Well, there's 20 minutes. You don't have to get all back here in the first couple of shifts, but chip away, get the next one, and then see how tight this veteran club.
Mentioned it before, these are the two stingiest teams in the AHL when it comes to goals allowed in the third period. Big neutral zone face-off win for Brendamore. It goes all the way back in Chicago territory. And Sealy in a second effort gets it ahead. Rink wide for Gunler. Driving to the net is Brendamore. Gunler kind of lost it for a moment. Now it comes back to Foot, and his stick was challenged as he was trying to fire a one-timer.
Yeah, I think he thought Anglo was going to get a piece of the puck before he got to it, but it did not happen. He could have probably still went right through it.
Now it's Gavin Bayreuther. His shot off the traffic. Reverse up the boards. Coming away with it was Brendamore as he tried to bank back to Foot. It's Angle getting it the other way. Hit the lines person as Seager was trying to dump it in deep.
Seemed like they had about 10 guys in the ice there when that took place because it didn't go deep. Stayed right in the neutral zone.
Fensore. He'll pump it up the boards. He has the Chicago goal. Came in the second period. He has to get back. Hall in the follow-up. He'll take to the corner. Roberta broke up the attempt. Nadeau has points in 7 straight games. That streak on the line as the Wolves back in. And that ends up hitting the netting.
Yeah. Grazed off something just inside the blue line and then all the way into the netting. So it will remain in the offensive zone. You know, this is a big group that they do have in Grand Rapids. Their key guys are large men. And, you know, I mentioned last night it was a really good physical game. And you know, the Wolves' key guys, I think, are a little smaller. And it probably took a lot out of them. And that's not an excuse. I'm just saying how taxing it can be. And to continue it back to back, not easy, but they're off tomorrow.
Off until Friday, but it'll be a busy weekend. The first of 4 3-game and 3-day sets the Wolves will play this weekend.
Rock Vegas.
Beautiful Rockford on a Friday night.
Did you say beautiful?
Yeah.
Okay.
Texas will be here at the Allstate. First game for Spiros Anastas and the Wolves against the Stars this year. They'll play them 8 times, but the first game comes in 2026. And then the Manitoba Moose on Sunday to wrap it up on a Scott Credit Union Family Sunday. Wolves will be wearing special cancer jerseys that Campfire Marshmallows are sponsoring. They'll be auctioned and raffled off over the weekend. They're nice looking sweaters. Going to a great couple of causes too. Here's Biondi on the follow-up. Brought in by Rapkick. Right back out. Becker waiting for it is Primo. Bayworth was pointing to go the other way, and he'll give the puck up to Biondi. Bayworth again. Cal Foot. He's tied up. He's able to push it ahead, and the puck came high towards his face. He was trying to get out of the way, and it finds him again. Stays on the ice, but it looks a little labored skating.
Yeah,
stretched his knees out going down, I think.
He was going to go off there, but he stayed on.
Well, Cal Foot has to hustle as a forechecker right on top of him.
That was a foot race.
Sure was. That was towards Doucette, but he got to the bench door in time.
It's a good play by Seager to let that puck be, not touch it. If he did, that might have been called.
Each team has had just 1 power play attempt in the game. Yesterday, the Wolves had 6 man advantages in Grand Rapids. Tori will dump it in.
You pointed out, too, same referees.
Yeah. Kind of let them play here today.
A little bit more, yeah.
Couple borderline hooks early that they let one go each way, and Tom Fensori. Fensori again off of Primo towards Gunler. Griffins again playing hopscotch in the midst of a change as the puck was in front of their bench again in an ill-advised time.
Good lift of the stick there.
Yeah, that was the captain, Josiah Slavin.
Stripping Leonard.
Only so far here in the third. Grand Rapids structurally sound, not giving up a lot of real estate. They're offside on the entry.
Yeah. Well, one thing they're so good at is keeping possession. Remember the Griffins, and when you have it, you hopefully can keep it and get something going at the other end of the ice. Been limited so far here, not quite 5 minutes in the third period, but certainly as time moves on, it becomes very important to get that next one, at least to give yourself a chance, even if you have to play your goal near the end of the game. Mason, yeah.
Errant pass. Draw will be next to Primo here.
Yeah, just again, I mentioned earlier, just relax a little bit. There's no, I mean, some of the young guys, so maybe a little nerve-wracking at times. Big game and somewhat of a test. I mentioned this going into last night's game, back-to-back games. Other teams will be looking at the results and seeing what's happening. I'm sure a lot of teams were surprised at the 49 shots the Wolves had, and losing in a shootout.
First 3 meetings between these two teams this year have gone past regulation, ending in a shootout. Here's Robida trying to start the rally, a backhand bid. And Postava, I should say, was in good position.
Some shoving after the fact. Simple little play, though. Tough angle for Robida there on his backhand, coming in on that side of the ice. Not really a lot to shoot at, but getting it on net, the main thing. Hoping maybe for a rebound off the chest.
Well, at the end of the second, this line was threatening. They'll get an offensive face-off here. Draw, however, was won by Becker. Hayden Primo put a little onto it towards Nadeau. He's forced deeper into his own zone. And did that touch?
Yeah, it's definitely off the glass. Yeah.
Okay, good. Otherwise, that would have been a delay of game penalty.
To the left of Primo will be, though.
Next weekend is a Ryan Suzuki bobblehead giveaway. That should be a fun collectible.
Yeah.
His older brother Nick, named to the Canadian Olympic team, played 1 game for the Wolves. It was against Grand Rapids at the playoffs, and that was a very violent series.
Oof, absolutely. Some huge hits in that series. Crazy.
Lee Ruther tapped it in. Dylan McElrath had a huge hit on Tyler Wong. Might be the most dangerous check I've ever seen a player receive live, and just the sound of it I'll never forget.
Yeah, it took some time to get him under control on the ice. Ooh.
There's Becker to the point. And just rolled off the blade.
Still in Washington?
Yeah.
Playing,
Found a home in the NHL late in his career. Journeyman going just back to keep playing. You never know when your number's going to get called. And he fits a certain role the Capitals needed. A bouncy puck away from Hamo Salmi. And the Griffins on it. A save made by Primo on Doucette.
You got to be aware of where you are on the ice and what you're doing with the puck, even if it's on end. Make sure it's going ahead. Set the robbery there in the steal.
Pavlichev stretching to the net, and Postava kept it out. Griffins player missing a stick. Dom Fensori jams it towards the corner. They continued to battle and finding some real estate. Tyler Engel, he'll lift it in. Austin Watson checked by 2, a tag team CD collision, but it's going to be an infraction on Alexei Hamo-Salmi. Boarding the call, the Griffins to the power play when we come back.
My son went to Westside for emotional regulation, and they saw my child as a person and not just his struggles.
It's just a warm feeling in there. They ease all your concerns. Speech support, hearing support. Our therapist has gone above and beyond.
It was really like a family, and that was really comforting. To be welcomed into that community, it's been life-changing.
You'll still have common days. Put off your term papers till the last minute. Eat cold pizza right out of the fridge. Update your fantasy roster. This is not one of those days. A few weeks a year and you'll discover the most uncommon time of your life.
When you find yourself betting on sports constantly, spending too much time at the slots, losing money you can't afford to lose, are you really winning? We are here to help you because you are not alone. Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit areyoureallywinning.com.
Shine bright throughout tonight's Glow game with the Glow Tee and Puck. These glow-in-the-dark shirts and pucks are available right now at ChicagoWoolsStore.com while supplies last, along with a full line of team jerseys, and apparel, and souvenirs.
Well, there's a tag team effort there. Fensori with the first little touch, and then Hamos saw me from behind. They call it boarding. I'm not sure if that was really running into a guy and ramming him in the boards, especially a guy like Watson who's about 250 pounds. But they call it boarding, and it's not what you need at this juncture of the game when you're trailing by 2.
The Griffins to their second power play, and it starts with a quick Leonard release and a one-timer off the backboards. Leonard has it once again. Leads the AHL in goals with 20, game winners with 7. Sent into the corner. Back up top, pulling down the one-time bid was Ian Mitchell. Allow Leonard buying some time. Mitchell looking. He'll get it down low. Oh, kicked away calmly by Primo. An excellent save on the shot from the slot.
How about that setup, though? So basic, so easy, and so quick.
It was Dries, and this is a shot by Branzik Nygaard. And swooping with the left hand, Caden Primo.
A little in tight to the body. You could see how he reacts, Caden, with his legs. He kind of awkwardly goes to the seat of his pants, but this is the play earlier. Just beautiful movement, gets the Wolves moving around, and the availability. When you move it so quickly, it's a lot easier to make plays, and a great stop with the left leg by Primo on that one. And a nice glove right after that.
Vandermoor wins a face-off. It'll be pounded ahead by Ronan Seeley, but John Leonard is able to hold the line. Now Slavin up ice. Back in. Dries tried to go to Branzik Nygaard.
Shorty might go a long way here.
Yeah, Wolves leading the AHL with 6. Goes towards the net off of Badinka. But even friendly fire, not a problem for Caden Primo.
Kind of a funny hop, though, as it got closer to him off the stick blade of Primo.
The entry, Watson will take down low. Angle will play it loose. 25 to go in the power play for the Griffins, their second unit out there. Trailmax opened up the scoring tonight. He'll play to Angle. Angle carries out, one-timer coming, and getting tangled up was Primo. Is facing the wrong way, and the Wolves.
He's asking,
get the clear, and he's like, how do you think I got upended?
That was Watson, the big fella right in front of him. I think he got that piece of Primo and knocked him sideways.
Last rush for the Griffins. They enter in as Hamo Salmi back on the ice. Wolves 2 for 2 on the Daniel E. Goodman Law penalty kill.
That's huge. Take that now with momentum, and
here's Fensori.
Understorm was so open on the other side. He saw him.
Yep.
Again, the collapsing defense is stick in the lane.
Griffins, the stingiest team. Their team goals against average under 2. Hall sets it up ice. Becker comes away with it, and in tight, a quick release, and Primo makes the save on Carson Bantle.
That's just a nice play again, working hard. They have so many little outlets that they somehow read off each other and know where everyone is on the ice, especially in the offensive zone. I mean, that's just a great play. I'm not even sure if he was looking, but it's on the tape. That little look over the shoulder, and Bantle in a good area to let that rip. Excellent stop again. But even in the power play, they have the support and the outlet, and it seems to be on all the time. And they, with that support, keep great control when they're under pressure.
Yeah, just even on Friday, Billy, when we were at Van Andel Arena watching the Griffins in their morning skate, their puck movement just seemed to be very sharp.
It's like the old days when they started morning skates. It was because of the Montreal Canadiens, how good they looked. Everybody was intimidated and felt they had to do the same thing.
Yeah. Sometimes it's personnel more than the drills themselves, right?
You think?
Well, we're halfway through the third. Wolves trailing by 2. Still plenty of time left in this one, but it's been tough for the Wolves to generate any offense here in the first half of this third period. In fact, the Wolves only have 1 shot on goal, while Grand Rapids has generated 3 with a 2-goal lead. Kicked ahead by Justin Robida. Nadeau felt the heat coming, so he'll dump it in. That was Austin Watson who was trying to line him up. And now Nadeau will get in on the forecheck. See the 5-shot advantage for Grand Rapids in the hockey game. This is after last night where the Wolves outshot the Griffins by 4, and the stick slashed out of the hands of Fensore by Austin Watson. And this is a great opportunity for the Wolves power play that is long due for a lamplighter when we come back.
At Planet Fitness, no 2 members are alike. Their routines are different. They use different equipment.
1, 2, 3. Woo!
And they do it for different reasons.
All right. You're a mythical beast.
But they all have one thing in common.
Hey, you got this. Come on.
They're all strong.
That's right.
We're all strong on this planet. Planet Fitness.
1 more, everybody.
1 more? I got 5 more.
I checked Allstate first and saved hundreds on my car insurance.
Please welcome Charles Woodson.
Unfortunately, I didn't check to see if anyone was watching before I stole cotton candy from a child. Checking Allstate first was really smart. Not checking the Jumbotron, not smart. Well, at least I checked Allstate first and saved hundreds. Was it worth it? Yeah.
Missed the winter blood drive. There's still time to donate and scan the QR code at the Vitalant virtual blood drive that is on your screen right now and make an appointment. All donors will receive a Wolves knit hat and tickets to an upcoming game. Please help save lives and make a difference in your community.
Austin Watson is a big man, and he's going to get this puck second, so he whacks the hands of Fensore, and he loses his stick. An easy call for the referee to make. And you mentioned it, this is it. Here we are with just less than half a period to go, trailing by 2, and timing is everything. This is a perfect situation to get on the board and maybe get some rhythm of the power play going again.
Face-off will be on the glove side of Ostava. He is top 20 of 21. Wolves 0 for 1 in the first in the Republic Bank power play. They're 0 for their last 29. Again, Grand Rapids has the league's best penalty kill. Robida working with Suzuki. Puck gets to Felix Ungerstorm. He tried to force it out in front. That's where you can see the confidence maybe a little bit. They force so many passes into areas that they shouldn't.
Yeah, absolutely. Pressure.
Obra able to glide his way to the corner. Nadeau lets it go towards Fensore. He's immediately attacked, but able to break the pressure to get it deep for Suzuki. Unger Sorum steps away from the pressure. Fensore will float it towards the net. A couple tips out in front went wide, and the first one on it is Hall, and he'll send it all the way back into the Chicago end.
Careful here. That's a simple play, but I like it. I mean, things haven't worked so well with some of the maneuvers, so why not just throw a couple of pucks at the net and hope that someone can get a piece of it?
Wolves changing up the power play personnel. Pavlichev at Bierling back door. Now he tries to center and misses everyone. Oh. Seeley entering in. Pavlichev taken away from him.
Down to 20, last rush here.
Evan Bierling will knife through, fires a shot. And again, the Griffins defense gets a stick on it to redirect it away.
I mean, honestly, in this game, how many times does that happen? Guys have been in a situation or an opportunity to maybe get something, hopefully, towards the net. And the sticks come into play. Good reach in. Into the netting it goes. So with some time left, one of the face-offs, you've got a situation where you can still make something happen here before the penalty's over.
Let's go back to their top line with two defensemen this time. Bayreuther in foot, and hopped over the backhand side of the blade on Gavin Bayreuther. They call an icing on the Wolves as the penalty to Watson expires. So the power play drought now to 0 for 30 in the last 9 games.
Yeah, it's a huge number, especially when things are going well. Points in 9 straight, and their power play has not been effective at all in helping. But if you look at the situations, you know, we're talking about 8 points in some of those games. They could have easily been 2 points if the power play had worked.
Yeah. And Rapids back to work in the offensive zone. Even with the power play attempt, Billy, the Wolves still sitting on just 1 shot here in the 3rd period over the course of 13 minutes. Crazy how Spiros Anastas' team was able to generate 13 shots last night in the first, 14 in the second, and 18 more in the 3rd.
Yeah.
But adjustments when you play the same team back-to-back, and Grand Rapids has really taken away the offensive ice for the Wolves tonight.
Yeah, and you can't knock the effort, but you can see the quality and how hard it is to play. Was there a penalty?
Yeah, Bayreuther kicked the stick away from Trailmax. It was on the ice. He kicked it away, and they're going to call a holding on it.
It can be interference. If that is the case, you cannot push away an opponent's stick if it's still playable. But
interference, I think, there's a signal there.
Yeah. But I do think, going back to one of my comments, that's a very big team, the majority of their players, and it's maybe a little easier to play these back-to-back grueling games. Well, again, in the untimely power play for the Griffins. Got to be sharp here. Maybe not so much take a chance, but if something's available, let's get up the ice here and get an opportunity, see if they're a little lazy.
Leonard has it. Griffins using 4 forwards, 1 defenseman on this grouping. Ian Mitchell set it back up top. Oh, they tried to feed Leonard across the rink. He'll chase it down the corner. Checked by Badinka. Wolves pressured ahead. And Slavin able to come up ice. Maybe a 2-on-1 with Brendamore. The pass to Brendamore off the stick of the defense.
Great stick again. That's a scoring chance.
That's that veteran defense, right, Billy? They're just so street smart.
Is it Mitchell, I believe?
Yep, Ian Mitchell back.
So I just called for this. Get a chance, jump on it, get up the ice. It's a 2-on-1, and it looks to me like the feed is going to be a good one in the wheelhouse. Slavin's looking, and look at that stick, the read. Brendamore's ready for it. He's got his stick out, ready to have that puck come to him and maybe shoot it. But Mitchell reads that play so well and just reaches out.
That's the Denver difference there. Ian Mitchell attending the University of Denver. Angle back in his own zone. They ladder it back. Griffins with the 2-goal lead. Not willing to
flatten the puck there. The ice is jumping around like a tennis ball.
Griffins now setting up. Tuomisto's shot. Oh, that was another quick release.
Chowski skates by there, almost got a piece of it.
That's how Tuomisto tied the hockey game last night in the third. Well, Griffins skated right through the vision of the Wolves goaltender Amir Miftaw. That time, Tuomisto's shot off target. The Wolves will clear. Wolves 10 seconds away from going 3 for 3 on the Daniel E. Goodman penalty kill tonight. And when they get back to skating 5-on-5, time is starting to become a factor. Trailing by just 2 goals, but you're down to now 4:46 remaining.
Yeah, this is the last promotional timeout, so maybe huddle up a little bit here and try to get a little spur in the saddle. You can see Dan Price has got some things already written on the board, and they are going to go over them. But you need some offense. You need some sustained pressure. There just hasn't been that much at all in this third frame. And you can tell by the number of shots, a couple of misses of the net, and a couple of redirections with sticks in the right place by the Griffins. But overall, need to generate something, and they are all huddled here trying to go over a few things. It's a little different when you're trailing by 1. A lot more can happen, and I think on the defensive side of the puck, you're probably a little bit more stingy defensively, thinking that instead of having a 2-goal lead where you're a little more lax, you can still play a little offense. And for the Wolves, it's certainly different. I mean, you really need to get the first one because you need 2. So
yeah, you thinking maybe pull Caden Primo early here, just the way the game has gone offensively for you tonight?
I think if you listen to coaches, they mainly say they pull their goaltender early if they feel like they've had better chances or possession offensively, and I don't know if that's been the case here in this third. I don't believe they've really had the puck under control a lot and threatened a lot. Give credit to Griffins for what they've done, but when trailing 2, obviously you're going to probably pull them a little earlier than you might think.
Primo goes back to the net as the shovel crew finishes picking up the snow on the ice.
There's no way.
It is. The Wolves will send out their top line here. And from the puck drop, Chicago has control. Nice lead pass by Fensore, but it came away from Suzuki.
Now, that was right over his stick blade, and that used to, I think, negate the icing because it was a firm feet. It jumped on his, or before it got to his stick. It's not really an icing because it was just kind of missed with the jump on it. Just let that continue.
Yeah. Dino trying to come away with it. Fensore does. Controlled breakout here coming for the Wolves. Get it to Suzuki. Nadeau towards Robida, and the Wolves enter. Primo's heading to the bench. The Wolves going to pull the netminder early, trying to get a pair of goals and tie this hockey game. With 4 minutes to work with. Fensore gloves it down. Out to Felix Ungersurum. Dom will dump it in as he gains the center red line. Down the boards came Suzuki. Wolves have numbers. The puck came out in front and it's immediately cleared, but wide of the net. It'll be an icing against the Griffins.
Yeah, that seemed to slant a little to the left. It looked to me like initially it was going right down the middle of the ice. 2 guys on the puck at all times. Need that. You have to have support everywhere on the ice here and keep control, especially down 2. You just can't give them those opportunities that we just saw. We got a timeout by the Wolves.
Yeah, I need to get something in here real quick, Billy. If you want to elevate your game day with the coolest fan experience, take a spin around the Allstate Arena ice during pregame, intermission, on the west side. Children's Therapy Fan Boney. Book your ride today by calling 1-800-THE-WOLVES or visit ChicagoWolves.com.
I've talked about this before, and we have laughed and chuckled and discussed it too, but I'm still not a fan of, even if you get a 2-goal lead and throwing the puck down the ice, why do you want another icing and have to win a face-off and give the other team a chance? Just be simple about it. Don't be selfish. Get it out into the neutral zone. Do your team the right thing. So there we have an icing. Someone going for the empty net. Let's win this face-off, I'm thinking, for the Wolves, and score a goal, and then that guy will be thinking twice about what he did.
Yes. Play the Billy Gardner way. Make him pay. Well, huge face-off here. Brendan Moore out to take the offensive draw. The Wolves net remains vacated. Brendan Moore starts the face-off win. Fensore to Robida. And the Wolves shovel it towards the net. The goaltender leading the wrong way. Fensore is the only defenseman on the ice for the Wolves right now, and muscled out by Austin Watson. Robida's on it first. He'll leave it for Fensore to carry ahead. Robida, the last one back. Headmans the puck to Nadeau. Shuffled it down low. Lagesson gave it a ride up the boards. That's cleared off. It hit the ankle of Fensore. Maybe not. I thought it hit Fensore, but they call the icing.
Yeah, I thought it changed because of that, too.
Griffins really didn't argue that.
No, nobody did. So let's have a quick look at it and see. Becker's going to throw it up the ice. Yeah, we're not going to quite see it. But
a follow through. It looked like Bradley Nadeau got clipped, but if it's a follow through on a clearing attempt, you don't have to worry about a high sticking call. Here's Robida towards the net. Wolves had good traffic and popped high and arched towards the backboards. Hall trying to send it ahead. Wolves get in the way of that one. Puck underneath the Wolves player down on the ice, Justin Robida.
I think Hall sticks it is stuck in his blade. Yeah, there he got it out of there finally. That's why he was waving. Hey, I can't do anything.
That's like a carnival game. There's a shot off the traffic again. Griffins have 3 packed in at the top of their crease. No real room for the Wolves to release it through. They play behind the net. Wolves have a couple options out in front. No room to get the puck to the net. Now a Nadeau shot blocked by Watson. That's 3 blocked by Austin Watson. Now he clears for the empty net and scores. Austin Watson gets the empty netter after blocking this shot attempt.
Well, interesting enough, we've had some discussions, and Austin Watson's having a tougher year, and he's looking for more points. And one of the reasons maybe he's out there with a 2-goal lead. He's a great blocker. He's a big guy. He's a guy that gets a stick in the way in a lot of situations. And this one, again, a nice sacrifice by him on the one-timer. Makes a heck of a block and just picks up the loose puck. Kind of bounced on Nadeau, and he finds the back of the net.
So that'll make it 4-1 Grand Rapids with 2:14 left. Watson getting his 7th of the season.
It's not too bad.
No, not bad at all.
About him, he's upset about not having a great year offensively, but
19 goals a year ago. Wolves send it in. Unassisted goal for Watson. And this will be the first game between these two teams that has not gone past regulation. And the first time the Wolves haven't had a lead on Grand Rapids. And the Griffins are $1.45 away from winning their 28th game. This is their 31st game of the season.
Incredible. Yeah, you would think maybe they got great veterans, but you'd think they get a little too cocky for a spell and give up a couple by being lazy. But They have fought really hard. And I think last night they fought through a tougher game for themselves, but they brought their big game here today. I thought right from the get-go.
Yeah, I don't know that the Wolves played poorly. It's more Grand Rapids elevated tonight, and the Wolves just did not have the time and space that they had yesterday to generate offensive chances. The structure. The Griffins.
And even though they had all those offensive chances, they only scored the 2 goals. So, you know, it shows you they got great goaltending and strong defense. A lot of trust.
Yeah, yesterday's game felt like it should have been a little bit more of a decisive win for Chicago instead of a shootout loss. Here, Grand Rapids really did not give the Wolves any breathing room, especially here in the 3rd period. They've only allowed 2 shots on goal. As we're down to the final minute.
Yeah, they've played smarter, I think, and you know, we talked to Spiros and Ostis about how their defense hang around and try to force things offensively, keeping plays alive, but they've been stronger defensively, not so much on the offense, at taking care of what they need to and not giving the Wolves the opportunity to move up the ice and make plays. And then when they've had chances in the offensive zone, they've really limited their space, as you said, utilizing their sticks, blocking a lot of passes and shots. Sometimes, you know, you live and learn, though. Wolves' 30th game also tonight, and you know, you look at this game, and yeah, it's not fun to lose, but you can maybe pick up a few pointers.
Yeah. Wolves have done a valiant job as of late defending, but a little stretch here of dry offense, and it feels like Wolves could use one more player that just has more natural scoring touch. A lot is on that top line that we started the broadcast talking about to generate all the looks.
A couple of veteran goal scorers would help.
Yeah. Here's Rapkin. Now it's Turcotte. In the final dozen seconds, a little give and go with Blake Biondi. Take it away, and Riklowski will clear it out. And the Wolves' 9-game point streak comes to an end. A nice little run for the Wolves as they moved all the way up to 2nd place. But the team that has dominated the American Hockey League was as good as advertised tonight, as the Griffins have now had an 18-game point streak in back-to-back seasons, and they're one off the franchise record of 19.
Is that 20 in a row without when leading into the 3rd period, too?
Yep.
That's a pretty good number.
And a nice return for Michael Postava to do it in the building that he got injured in the 1st period. He comes back and exercises those demons with a very solid night. He was sharp, especially in the 1st when the Wolves put 11 shots his way, and he maintained that 1-0 lead that the Griffins eventually built on. We're going to hand it off to Chris Dubiel, the Wolves public address announcer. He has the Coors Light 3 stars of the game.
Wolves with his 5th goal of the season. Number 2, Dominic Fensore. The number 2 star from Grand Rapids is number 15, Sheldon Dries. And tonight's number 1 star from Grand Rapids is number 26, Chad Hillebrand.
He knew Chad Hillebrand was going to be the number 1 star of the game, with all the friends and family in attendance. Grew up here in the Chicagoland, coming to a lot of games. He gets the curtain call as he ends up getting a huge goal to restore a 2-goal lead for Grand Rapids. Speaking of goals, here is the West Side Children's Therapy 3rd period scoring summary. Learn how West Side goes above and beyond to support families in need, and get started today at westsidect.com. Austin Watson seals the victory for Grand Rapids with the empty netter after blocking a shot, his 7th of the year at 17:46. Makes it a 4-1 final in favor of the Griffins. An adopt-a-dog night here at the Allstate. I'll go home a winner. I've got a 9-month-old puppy that's going to be joining the Shaver family. We will join you after the break for post-game coverage.
My son went to Westside for emotional regulation, and they saw my child as a person and not just his struggles.
It's just a warm feeling in there. They ease all your concerns. Speech support, hearing support. Our therapist has gone above and beyond.
It was really like a family, and that was really comforting. To be welcomed into that community, it's been life-changing.
What happens when an unstoppable force